Jared Bell writes in, says, just got caught up from episode 1 to Bots Deep, thanks to Google Podcasts.
Wow.
Man, he's a machine. So if you have 114 episodes, and let's say on an average they're 3 hours long, that's 342 hours of Blackout and Shout that he listened to.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Give or take.
Give or take the occasional 6-hour episode.
Yeah. So that's 350 hours of Blackout and Shout. Let's say that it's a job. You have to listen to Blackout and Shout for 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Right? That's almost 44 straight days of our podcast.
44 straight days, so divided by 5. So that's almost 9 full work weeks. if you're talking a regular 9 to 5er.
Wow.
I feel like we owe him some money or some shit.
Right, yeah.
Wait, Jared didn't have a question. He was just letting us know how much of our shit that he listened.
That's a weird flex.
If I did that, I would let people know too. Welcome. You have now tuned in to the Blackout and Shout podcast with your host, Mike Kincaid.
Can I tell you that Baby Yoda just annoys the shit out of me?
That's because you haven't watched The Mandalorian.
Oh, look at Baby Yoda, so cute.
Levy Curry.
Some people do all sorts of crazy stuff, like dinosaur romance novels. Those are really a thing. Taken by the T-Rex. A billionaire dinosaur forced me. Ravaged by the raptors.
I wonder if there's audiobooks of them.
And Jed Vargo.
He was always like well known for wearing the Nazi outfit on.
Captain Kangaroo?
Captain Kangaroo.
Didn't he have the...
No. And he did not dress up as a Nazi either.
So sit back. Mike, are you... Listen to me. Relax. Say, transform and roll out. And enjoy the show. Welcome to episode 114 of the Blackout and Shout Show, starring your ever lovable co-host, Levy Curry. How are you doing this evening, Levy Curry?
I'm doing better than I have been. This
that's good.
Past week's been pretty rough for me, so we had to we lost my dog last Friday.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, man.
Lexi, she was...
It's always hard when you lose a pet.
Yeah, she was almost 11, and she went downhill pretty quick, and I'm pretty confident she had cancer or something, you know, and the doctor said that they could run some tests to see what it was, but I was like, it doesn't matter. I mean, the end result's still the same.
Right.
So
the only people that like truly get it are probably people like me and you, Levy, that don't have like kids, you know, because there are kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's like I said, it's been a pretty rough week for both me and April. So Monday was the hardest because that was the first day that I came home from work and she wasn't at the door to greet me. So
yeah. That sucks, man.
I was saying when she was younger, and I would come home, she would greet me at the door with a nut punch. So like almost every day, because this is back when I was working third shift and I'd come home in the morning, and I would open the door and she'd be right there, and she'd just jump up, and then like she'd push out, just like, you know, as dogs do, but like she was just at the perfect height. She'd get me in the nuts every fucking time. So
yeah, man. When I was a kid, when I was 3 or 4, I forget what it was. I think 3 or 4. I forget. It was somewhere around there. Parents got me a dog, and I had her for 12 years, I think it was, or whatever like that. So I was like 14 or 15, and she had got this throat cancer type of thing where it was like, you know, pinched the esophagus and she couldn't eat and stuff. And she started to wither away. And then, you know, we had to put her to sleep. And that was really rough, man, especially for a kid who grew up with a dog, you know, his whole life.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was like losing my best friend and shit. So ever since then, I've never, you know, I love dogs, but I don't want to get another dog because I don't want to go through that type of loss again. So, yeah, man, it's rough.
That's what I said to Levy. I said, like, you know, we as pet owners, we set ourselves up for that. Like, unless you get like a turtle or like a parrot or some shit that's going to live, you know, 70 years or something. It's like, man, the day you adopt a a dog or a cat or whatever, it's like, man, you set yourself up for it, but you can't think about that yet. Like you're, the best point of view. And I can't remember who said this to me, but it's like, you can't look at it where you're sad because you lost your pet, and you only had it for 11 years and you wish you could have had it longer and stuff. You almost got to look at it from the point of view of your pet. Like your pet had you for their whole life, and they had a good life, and that's just happy about their.
That's true. And that's when my wife moved in and stuff, and she had hamsters, they would die like every 3-4 years. And I was just like, how can you go through this like every 3 years? It's just fucking heartbreaking. It's like, it's fucking terrible. Like I literally had like a fucking hamster cemetery outside my apartment. Fucking had like 6 of them buried out there before we moved. And it was just like, I don't think we should do this anymore. It was just like, because that's their life expectancy. So
there's a sci-fi. There's a sci-fi horror movie in that somewhere, Jed.
Yeah, it's like a pet cemetery thing. Yeah.
When a while back when I had when I took one of my dogs to the vet, there was an old couple and they had brought their dog to be euthanized, and the woman was very upset and everything like that, and her husband was keeping his composure, but you could tell he was upset too. But he told me, he said to me, no matter what you do, they always break your heart one day, but all the years leading up to it are worth it.
Oh yeah, sure. So yeah, I mean, you have all that time with him, and then you got to think more about that than the last few weeks. I posted pictures of her on Facebook when she was younger. Brought her home, and when she was a pup, some pictures of her playing in the snow, and that's how I want to remember her. When she was strong and healthy. Had energy. It's really tough too. Like when you watch them deteriorate, that's even worse. So but it was because it happened all like within a week. She was getting old. She was showing her age, and she didn't have the energy that she used to. Her hips were bothering her. Shelties have a tendency to get hip dysplasia and whatnot. So, her hips were bothering her and stuff. So she didn't get around as well as she used to. But then about a week before, or 2 weeks ago, she collapsed and couldn't get back up on her own. So we took her to the vet. The doctor said it was arthritis. And it was really bothering her. So gave her some medications and stuff, some joint supplements and painkillers and stuff. But then she ended up vomiting and having diarrhea from, we think might have been side effect of the pain medication, but now we're not sure. Where maybe it might have been from whatever it was that she potentially had. But she just went. At first she started to get better because after we started giving the medication, because we took her to the vet on Thursday, and then by the weekend she was actually getting up and around on her own again. But then that Monday she just kind of nosedived and just got worse and worse throughout the week. So,
Levy, I know you don't want to hear this, and it ain't gonna make you feel any better and shit. But it was probably better that it happened kind of quick because
I understand because
if she would have been going downhill for a year or something like that, that would have been the longest, most depressing fucking year of your life. You know what I mean? Of course,
she would have been in that kind of pain. I don't even know how long she'd been in pain because dogs. They hide their pain,
right?
Because I guess instinctually they hide it because any kind of weakness, and any show of weakness can be lethal in the wild, So I guess they carry that instinct with them. So they don't tend to show their pain unless it's really dire. And so when she was crying, when we would pick her up, we knew that she was hurting, and I didn't want her to go through that, Like I said, it's been rough, and Maya has been a comfort for us, I guess. Our Chihuahua, April's been extra doting on her. So,
does she know her buddy's not around anymore? Is she?
There was one real heartbreaking moment. A couple days after Maya saw something outside. She started barking, and usually it'll be Maya that would be the first one to notice something, and she'll start barking, and then Lexi will follow suit. And so Maya started barking, and she stopped and waited, and Lexi's response never came. And she stopped, and she just started running around looking for her, and that was really rough. that was hard.
Yeah.
Well, now that
so sorry to start the show on a downer.
Now that we depressed everyone on the listening, and speak about being depressed, just go to other co-host, Mike Kincaid, internet celebrity. How are you doing this wonderful evening, Mike Kincaid?
I was having a fantastic fucking week until I opened up this X Transbots Cup, but we can get to that during calls, I suppose.
Mike Kincaid speed review.
Yeah. I'm other than that, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Cool.
Thank you. How about you, Jed? How are you?
It's been a super long, busy week, but man, I've been killing it at work lately. I've been like knocking shit out of the park left and right with stuff. So
get that raise.
Happy with that. Yeah. Nah, it's just like one of those things where I've been asking to do something for like 5 years now or more, and I finally was allowed to do it, so I just went crazy with it. But anyway, let's ping pong back, right? Mike Kincaid.
Yes.
Internet celebrity. Do you have any hauls or shout outs or plugs you would like to share?
It was shout out to the fans of the Reflector Files. It just went over like 6,500 on Instagram and like 5,500 on Facebook. So,
good.
So that's cool. Yeah. Facebook is kind of Facebook picks up slow. Like after, I don't know. It seems like Instagram gets a little more action, but so that's always fun. I don't have anything done. I'm working on a couple things right now. I don't have anything done. And I'm not sure they're going to be done by the time this episode drops, but I'm going to try. So I'll just wait to talk about it until it is finished. And hauls, I got, so I got the Overlord upgrade kit, for the Fans Hobby Overlord, which I haven't opened yet. It's kind of sitting here in front of me, so I might crack that open during the show at some point.
Didn't you say that you weren't going to get that because it was like a lot of stuff you didn't need?
Well, it was like those, like some IDW stuff. Well, the only thing that I really don't see myself using is probably the chest plates, because the chest plates are really IDW looking and they're blue rather than the white that was G1. But I really liked Overlord and IDW. And I like the alternate head stuff that the faces that they give you, because one has like the broken eye and and like the psycho killer smile on his face. I kind of dig that, and they gave him like a gun, like a bigger gun, because he did kind of have like a little pea shooter of a gun, the original. So and this one's a bigger one, so he'll have two now. But and you can also use this to make the tank mode look like the IDW tank, where it doesn't look quite as much as like a traditional tank. It has like the, his robot mode gun as the turret and stuff like that. So it's like, cool. It was only like 20 some bucks or whatever. So I figured I'd grab it. Cool. Now I got this X Transbots Cup, and I was actually talking to Brother Kyle, to Brother Kyle about it last night. Like I told him I was going to put all this talk about how it was garbage out of my head, because every time a new figure comes out, I feel like, there's like a bunch of people that are like, this broke and that broke. But I was a little worried because even X Transbots had posted preemptively like, hey, when you get your cup, it might be crap, and I'm paraphrasing, obviously, shit piece, masterpiece, shit piece. And so that did have me a little worried, but I opened it with no predetermined feelings. I just wanted to open it and see what was going on, and right out of the box, it's shit. There was a piece. First of all, as I was like, I took it out, and then like it has like that the plastic that they kind of wrap around it so it doesn't get like, I don't know, scratched up against other parts inside the styrofoam. Yeah. I removed that piece of plastic, and there was like a piece in it, and it didn't look like an accessory. It looked like a piece. And something
broke off.
Something came off with I couldn't figure out where the hell it came from, and then I realized it was from the inside of the shin, And I was trying to put it back in and it won't stay in. So I saw the other one. So I saw if I could pop the other one out, and the other one popped out.
And now it won't go back in?
No, and then it popped right back in. And the hole, like where you tab this thing in, on the one side, it's really nice and shapely, like it looks nice. And then on the other one, it looked like, it looked like somebody gnawed it with their teeth. Like the hole's a little too big, and it just looks. Now the only upside there is that it looks like both of those pieces were kind of glued in, so it doesn't look like it doesn't move or anything or have to come out for transformation. So if it was only that, I was like, I could just glue this thing back in and it'll be fine. But the arms are scary tight, like where you really got to hold the shoulder and hold the bicep really close to where the shoulder joint is. Like, when you get a real tight Marvel Legend or a real tight whatever, one salt skill, and you have to like put it in hot water so it loosens up. That's how the arms feel, which is a little scary. And then the one, there's a cut joint at the hip, and it's one of those ones where like, which one of you guys got Quake Wave?
I got
or not. It wasn't Quake Wave that did it. Quake Wave's rotated. Like, you ever get one of those ones where like the hips actually slide out, like they slide on a little bar, like they're connected in robot mode, but like for vehicle mode, you have to like slide them out one way or another.
Yeah.
That's apparently something in his transformation does that. Well, the right one is real nice and tight and fine, and it slides out without any problems. It slides back in and stays in place. But his left one, like if you just jiggle it, the fucking thing just slides out.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's crap. The stuff that tabs the legs all together there's a couple really scary little plastic parts, and I haven't had any issues with it, but it doesn't feel like it really like tabs in all nice and firm. Like I feel like if I wanted to like put him in a kneeling pose and shit and bend him at the knee, like all that shit is just gonna work its way loose, which I don't like. And the waist, I don't know what the hell. I'll probably find more problems when I actually transform them, because I already know I got to send them, because X-Transbot said, like, if you have any problems, send a email to this address and copy this address and let us know what your issues are, and we're going to get replacement parts. So props to them for at least like getting out in front of it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to crush them for that, like as long as everybody gets their replacement parts. But I'm sure I'm going to find more shit when I transform it, because like the waist is, I don't even know what the hell is holding the waist together. It feels like it's supposed to have an ab crunch, but I think it's just like a flimsy little piece that's kind of holding the upper body to the lower body. Like, and it's almost like a plastic. It doesn't even feel like it's die cast, because it feels like there's a little give. So that it's not, man, right out of the box. It doesn't, when you like by contrast, remember when, I just got that land bowl, and when I took the land bowl out of the box, I felt like I could throw it against the fucking wall and it would be fine. But this thing, and it's heavy. It feels heavy, like a fan toys type of heavy, but it doesn't feel good. It just doesn't feel good.
I don't know if they knew ahead of time enough to send out like notices and warnings and stuff. I don't know, man. I think that they maybe should have just delayed the figure. Well,
they put those out. They put that out after people had already started getting them. It's not like they didn't put them out before they shipped. They put them out. That message went up on their Facebook page maybe like a week ago, and I was already seeing people getting these things like 2 weeks ago, and they were probably on the boat to, TCP at that point. So they were probably out there. So I'll be fine as long as I get replacement part. He's beautiful looking. I have him sitting up on the shelf. I'm afraid to fucking touch him, but like just looking at him, he's really nice looking. And people were reporting problems with the two target. I don't even know what the hell the second target master is for. I think it's for the Masterpiece Hot Rod, I think, because they gave you two different target masters, and
that's correct. Yeah. That's what it's for. Yep.
All right. Well, they were both nice, and you got some nice extra faces, and you got an extra set of hands that are like slightly different than the hands that are on there. I'm not again, I just broke these out. Maybe I broke it out like 15 minutes before we went on, so I didn't get a real good chance to look at it. But they give you the Sharkticon tail, and that feels real nice since that's on a bunch of ball joints, so you can kind of articulate the tail any way you want, and that feels nice. So that stuff is at least okay, but I don't know, man. it's a scary feeling figure. So I'm not feeling too confident, but I'll be real careful when I'm transforming it, and not to meat fist it. So I'll see what goes on, but I already know I'll be sending them an email to get at least some replacement pieces for the legs anyway. So
how's the paint look?
Paint looks good. Like it looks good. Now again, he's in robot mode. I didn't mess with it. I messed with the legs a little, and I messed with like just articulation type stuff. But as it stands right now in robot mode, straight out of the box, like I'm looking at it, and it looks really nice. It looks really nice.
Just don't look at it too long, or it'll fall apart, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I've been staring at it the whole time I'm talking. I'm just waiting for him to do a nosedive off the fucking bookshelf. So, but I'm not overly, like I said, as long as I get some replacement parts and it gets sorted out. Cause honestly, like I've been extremely lucky with figures that other people I've had issues with, like the skids, when everybody was having a hard time with that arm that was like crap. Like I got a really nice, my skids was beautiful, and both arms were nice and tight, and everything was good. Like, so I've had a pretty good luck streak going for a while. So I guess I was bound for a bummer. So hopefully it's this and not the fucking Unicron.
Yeah. The peace out.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You know what? Somebody said that on after I was on the TFW boards, kind of looking what other people's experiences were, and somebody said that like the arm and leg just broke off of this fucking cup. So they said they were going to make a fish tank and just throw them in the fucking fish tank and get a KO hot rod, and maybe get a baby squid and just throw that in there. Yeah, it's funny.
Go.
Yeah, if XTB wanted to lose more customers but wanted to have like a sense of humor, they would have advertised this as 86 movie cup. Do all the same shit that one did, except go back together the right way. Yeah, so that's that. I don't think I got anything else. Oh, I got some silicone eyepiece for the Oculus Quest, because I was playing a lot of Beat Saber, and I was like, really, I can't remember who suggested. Maybe Levy. I think you told me about him, because he really is. Sometimes when you're on that Expert Plus and you're really like getting into it, man, you slime that eyepiece up really easy. So I got a couple of those to put on there. Yeah, that is all I got. The other stuff is on the way. Trailer and accessories are on the way, but they are not here yet, so I can't talk about them yet.
Did you have any shout outs?
Let me poke my head around the corner and then I'll let me see. Okay, she went upstairs. Yeah, shout out to that girl.
The coast is clear.
That weird girl that's been messaging my girlfriend. Shit. What a fucking strange. It's been a strange 2021, but it's all right so far.
It's only February.
It's only February, man. It's gonna be an adventure this year, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, that's it. Shout out to all the listeners as usual. Like we'll message, every once in a while we get some messages from some people, and it reminds you that people are listening. So that's always cool. So shout out to all the listeners that have stuck with us through 113 and 0.5 episodes so far.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out real quick before I forget to all the new listeners from Japan, Australia, and Serbia. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I got is it? Yeah, Scovia. I got like the extra, the Facebook bonus bucks or whatever for free. So I boosted the last episode, and I put in it was like the location. I'm like, you had enough America for now. Let's do some other continents, right, and stuff. So I did put in Japan and Australia, and like I started getting all these people from Serbia liking the fish. I was like, what? How did that get mixed in there? But okay, yeah, all right. So hey, thanks for following and listening. Appreciate it, everybody who is tuning in brand new. And
that's a good time to say konnichiwas.
Yeah.
Oh, Jefferson says hi, by the way.
And we just lost all of them. Thank you. Levy, how about you? Did you have any hauls or shout outs or anything to plug?
Well, I got my Mezco 112 Christopher Reeve Superman. So
nice looking figure, Levy.
Yeah.
This is the first I'm hearing of this, Levy. Could you tell me more?
Yeah.
That's all you've been talking about all week.
Yeah, I mean, I was really pleasantly surprised by it because, you know, judging from the promotional pictures and some of the pictures that people have taken and posted in the groups and stuff, some of them were less than impressive. And like, you know, some of them, like the costume looked like it was bunching up and it didn't look good. And some of the, you know, the face sculpts, you know, weren't looking all that great. But once I got it in hand, holy shit, this figure's fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. And
it's hard to tell with all the LEDs from your computer case in the background.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm
Superman at a rave. It's a rave Superman.
I'm going to say that actually, I think it's better than, or I like it more than my Mafex Superman I just got. And I think I might actually like it more than my Hot Toy Superman.
Ooh.
I think I like it more than my Hot Toy Superman as a representation of Christopher Reeve. Because, like I said, this thing is amazing. I can't get enough of this figure. I can't. So, and it comes with a display base with that's stylized like the control console from the Fortress of Solitude with all the crystals and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it lights up, but it's got like two light up modes. Like one where you flip the switch all the way, and so it just stays lit. But then if you move the switch to the middle, it comes with the 3 crystals, 1 green one and 2 white ones, and they have a magnet in them. And you can slide the crystal into a port on the control console on the base. And when you do that, it lights up, which is really neat. So, but yeah, the sculpting on the display base is fantastic. The material is really good. It's got like a real nice frosted white finish on it. It's nice and heavy too. So, but yeah, it's a fantastic freaking base. I love it. So yeah, everything about this, and it comes with 3 head sculpts. It finally comes with a smiling head sculpt. Like every Superman figure in existence does not have a smiling head sculpt, and they finally gave us one. And it was in the pictures and everything. People just freaking, you know, clowned on this smiling head sculpt. And to be fair, the pictures did not make it look good, but in hand, again, it looks just like the way Christopher Reeve smiled, and it looks fantastic. I love it. And then they also gave us a 3rd head sculpt, which they did not advertise, which is kind of a very slight grin as opposed to like the more serious face sculpt that they have. So that one's really nice too. All in all, I'm very, very pleased. It's probably my favorite figure of the year so far, even though we're only in the end of February, but still can't say enough good things about this thing. Oh, and it comes with two things of kryptonite, you know, the kryptonite on the chain from the first movie, and then the fake kryptonite with the tar from Superman 3. So
you're right.
So, and it comes in this really, really cool tin also. Instead of like the standard box, it comes in a cylindrical tin with the Superman symbol stamped into the lid, and the image from like the old 78 movie poster.
Is it
a picture of it?
Is it made of lead?
Yeah. No, I have a feeling Superman will be able to see right through this. But
yuck.
Potato chip can.
Coming with the dad jokes. I think that was a dad joke, right? Was that a dad joke?
That was a Superman fan inside joke.
Hey.
But yeah, no, the tin itself is actually really cool. So Yeah, so I dig everything about this. So I'm glad I picked it up.
I'm not shitting on it or anything like that, right? But it looks just like a trash can that I used to have, a Superman trash can. It had the same exact
Superman trash can.
Yeah, I used to have a Superman trash can. Like on one side, it was the symbol with the clouds and everything, and then on the other side, it was like him as a kid, like lifting the truck up, and the parents underneath it looking up at him. Yeah. Sorry, it's just
that's funny.
It looks just like it. I don't have it anymore. Right? I had it as a kid.
So
what else did you get?
But yeah, I think that's all I got in the last 2 weeks. So
any shoutouts?
No, I don't think so.
Jed.
No, I don't think so.
Yes.
What about you, man?
Well, on last episode, I had said that FedEx wouldn't deliver at night, but they did. And when the show was over, I saw there was a box sitting out front of my door. It must have arrived at 11 o'clock at night or something like that.
Wow.
It was just sitting there. So I got my pile of loot from BBTS. So I got a bunch of stuff, a bunch of birthday, Christmas presents for Sean. I can't really say what they are in case he's listening because I haven't given them to him yet. But I got Darth Vader from the Black Series. I got Warpath and Sunspot from Marvel Legends. I got Black Cat as well, and J. Jonah Jameson, that's a fun figure with the newspaper and everything. But I did get those Final Fantasy VII box of the polygon figures, like the small ones that make it look like they came from the game. They're all square etched and stuff.
Yeah,
those are really cool. Those are
the ones from the ones from the first game, right?
Well, from the original game. Yeah,
they were cool.
They look all like pixelated type of stylized.
Blocky.
So those are neat. Blocky, yeah.
Did you see the Final Fantasy VII remaster that are releasing on iOS and Android?
I did. I was going to mention that in the news.
Okay.
There's two of them, bits. Actually, there's 3 bits of news around Final Fantasy VII I was going to cover.
Okay.
And what was the other thing that I got? Oh, I got that boost, right? So that was back when they were selling Boost, BOOST. Boost, X-Transbot Boost.
Okay.
And they were selling it because they said it was damaged paint and stuff, and it was like $30. I was like, okay, it's $30. I'll give it a shot. I don't have a wind charger, so I got it. It didn't come in a box. I didn't get any accessories with it. It came like in a little cardboard box, like wrapped in plastic, and that was it. It was in vehicle mode, and I don't think it didn't come with instructions or anything. All it was just like it was like a QC reject, basically, is what it was. So I looked at it, and it wasn't that bad at all. There was like some overspray on it a little bit here and there, like in the vehicle mode. But when I transformed it and put it into robot mode, it looks great, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing broken on it. Probably in better shape than that cup that Mike got. And I got.
Yeah, that's probably not saying much.
but it just makes me think back, all those years ago when you had a Boost hanging from the fishing line in the room for like months and months as punishment.
Yeah,
because I transformed that thing, and that thing blew, man. Getting those doors like apart from it, not like wanting to break it and stuff, and I was just like, man, this sucks. Yeah. So but yeah, after I got through with that, then it wasn't too bad. But just to get those doors, unhinged or popped out, it sucked. But like I said, $30 can't, it'll never be in car mode again. So I don't have to really worry about, the overspray or anything like that. But yeah, it's it was a good little deal that I got. And like I said before, shout out to all the new listeners that we got, hopefully from, that stuck around from Japan after that, welcome greeting.
What?
Yeah, way to go, Mike.
Yeah, Konnichiwa. It's not like I just said, "Hey, douchebag, guys." Like that's
Yeah, no, it's just funny. Be like, that was shrimp on the bobby, mates. Thanks for listening in.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, there goes all the Australia.
Only Aussie man can get away with that sort of thing.
Sorry, Alan.
All we have left now is Serbia.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but hey, thanks for everybody who tuned in, which was actually a lot. Which that's kind of cool. And a funny story. Like, so we went on a trip to my dad's and back today, and my wife she started using this new phrase, and I told her to stop.
Oh no.
I heard it once, and then the second time I was like, why do you keep saying that? I'm like, stop it. So we were like, we rolled into, I forget, we were in one area or out of traffic, and she goes, yeah, this place is popping. I said, it's popping. She's like, yeah, it's popping. I said, yo, that's whack. I said, stop saying that. I'm like, where did you pick that up at? I don't know. I just figured I'd say it. I'm like, please don't say it.
That's how the kids talk. Please.
This place is popping. This Palmerton place.
At least to her credit,
now I know that's bullshit because there's nothing in Palmerton that's popping.
Right.
At least to her credit, she didn't leave she took the G off the end. Like she said, it's popping. This place is popping.
You might almost be able to excuse that.
I don't know, man.
No, I actually did say to her, I'm like, why do I always feel so tired when we drive up here? And she's like, because there's nothing here. There's nothing. I'm like, you're right. Yes.
Yep.
That's true. That's kind of why I moved away. But
there was one thing I like to go to Palmerton for. That's the
drugs
festival. Drugs. I was gonna say the festival at the end of summer every year.
The park is like a buffet of drugs. You just go to each section for whatever you want, you know.
There's finally an answer to the question, where were all the other drugs going?
Palmer Park. Like I said, there was like marijuana over there, you know, the cocaine's over on the other side, and you know, you buy the crack from the guy under the bridge.
all the local drug addicts are thanking us right now.
They're like, thanks for plugging. No more Facebook ads for us.
We get demonetized on YouTube. Not that we were monetized to begin with, but so it went up there today. That was it's always depressing when I go up there. It's like you go into like this, it's just a haze, you know. It's just like you're waiting for somebody to come rushing out and ask if you heard the new Run DMC tape or something. It's just so far back in time. But anyway, so it's rustic.
Yeah, it's not rustic. It's just behind the times. Anyway, shout out to everybody who listens to us from Palmerton. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys know what the internet is. Anyway,
hey, now.
Hey,
I do have a couple friends from Palmerton.
No, I can't. I mean, I did go there, and you know, they are well known for some things, but
they actually have they do know what the internet is up there because they have my friends work at the internet place.
Pentel Data, that's it. Why could I not remember the fucking name?
That's where the sentence was ending. They work at the internet.
The internet. They work at the internet. You know,
you sound like an 80-year-old man.
They work at the internet.
I need my internet filled up.
I sound like one of the customers that calls them.
You do.
You know what? It's funny, Jed, that you say that about them being behind the times, because like back in the Livewire days when we would play a lot of like hair metal and shit, we would play up in that area, and then we would try to play like 90s grunge, and like nobody liked it, and it's like, oh, I guess they haven't heard that one up here yet.
Was that at the Lizard?
But your kids are gonna love
Tavern?
Nah,
the Lizard Creek.
We played the Blue Mountain Pub a number of times.
Yeah,
I'll tell you a funny one about the Blue Mountain Pub, and it's real quick. So we had this. We Livewire was a revolving door when it came to musicians, and so we had, you know, guitar players in and out, bass players in and out, and at one point we had we had this old biker dude playing bass for us because we had a bunch of gigs lined up and we didn't want to cancel any of them, which in hindsight, we should have just fucking canceled them. But he knew he had us by the balls. So we had to do everything that he wanted to do or else he would have quit. And every time he we started pushing back and giving him a hard time, he started like fucking up on purpose. And we played at the Blue Mountain Pub. It was his last show with us because I threw him out of the band after the second set. he was playing so bad, and we as a result, we were playing so bad. Like he was doing shit like changing lyrics to songs. Like we played Jumpin' Jack Flash, and he was singing Jumpin' Jack Flash up your ass like for the chorus, which is kind of funny. But believe me, it wasn't funny at the time it was happening. And we were so fucking bad that after the first set, we were supposed to get paid $400 for the show. After the first set, the owner came up to us and he goes to me, "If I give you $200 right now, will you leave?" And we took it. We're like, yeah, hook us up. Let us get the fuck out of here. And then this dude, I paid everybody. And then he came up to me. I was standing right at we had all the equipment packed up and I was standing at the driver's side door, just about to get in. And he came walking up and he put his hand out, like for money. So I fucking slapped him $5 and I got in the van and drove off. And I rolled down the window and I said, "You're out of the fucking bands." You dickhead. Yeah.
I used to go there a lot. I don't remember seeing you guys play. Yeah. I never saw you.
Well, I'm glad you didn't see us play. At that point,
after I moved.
that was a rough era. Like we had a couple of good lineups along the way, but that was definitely not one of them.
I did work at Pentel Data Levy for 5 years, so I am aware of the internet in that town. But I'll tell you what, hey, Pentel Data is the first company in the United States that ever had cable modems. Just to let you know the little historic fact there. Canada was the first country to have cable modems, and then Pentel Data was the first company in the United States to have them commercially available. That was back in the 90s before everybody got clued in on the speed of that stuff. So, but yeah, I left there in like 2000 and I never looked back.
You have chosen wisely.
So you talked about Boost, gave the shout out to everybody. Don't really have anything to plug. I've been kind of like very melancholy with all my like art and everything else. I got some ideas for things, but I haven't worked on anything because of my dad being in the hospital and everything. That's been kind of, take away from the whole creative thing. But this whole NFT stuff that's going on, man, through the whole digital. Remember I mentioned that before about Beeble and him selling all that digital media. Yeah, it's like a big explosion now. People are selling shit left and right. There's some dude, I don't know, or some woman who created like just a spinning cube. That's all it is. It's just spinning cubes, like in like slow motion, like blurry type of stuff. Just got $23,000 for that.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, a lot of people are running to cash in on that stuff now. I'm wondering if it's gonna like kind of get up real high and then kind of pop, and then basically just like online auctioning for digital
right
art. So I don't know. So there's some been posting this image, like it says NFT equals. I could have thought of that plus, but I didn't do it.
I've done the math.
So, Mike, I wanted to ask you, the Voltron you have, is that the Soul of Chikokin one you have? Is that, or did you?
No, I have the the Toynami Ultimate EX.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger.
Yeah, I just saw the Soul Chikokin pop up. It was like only 10 inches. It was like $350. I'm like for it's a lot.
Considering that the first run, remember that thing went crazy, like price wise, man. People were selling that motherfucker for like $800.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Aftermarket price, obviously, but yeah, $350 for a 10-inch figure is, or 10 or 12 or whatever it is. Is it 10, 12, somewhere around there?
10.6 inches.
The one I got is like I think it's like 16 inches tall. I have him in lion mode, and he looks good in both modes. But I'm really kind of like hoping that at some point somebody does a Voltron that is like at that Toy World scale. Even though I know Voltron's like way huger than any of the combiners by a long shot. I don't know. I could see him standing down there at the same scale.
Yeah, that wouldn't be.
Is Voltron bigger than the combiners?
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
Really?
Think about this, Levy. Think about and take mass shifting a little bit out of the equation. Think about how big the human pilot is compared to just one of the Voltron lions. And you got 5 of those lions forming this giant robot, whereas like sports cars and a tractor trailer, or like a couple construction vehicles, or you know what I mean?
Well, you also got to think about Superion. Those planes are huge.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why I said take mass shifting like slightly out of the equation, because
I look back at the end credits of Voltron where the pilots are sitting outside, like some of them are sitting on the head of the lion or standing outside of it or whatever, so you get a nice idea of the scale. And you're right, those lions are huge.
I sent an image in the chat. So
yeah, I see it.
Cool scale thing. Optimus Prime's that little red dot there in the middle.
Oh wow, okay. Well, that can't be right either, because Optimus Prime, actually though, I guess there's a really forced perspective on that Voltron there, because the lion feet are like 4 times the size of Voltron's head, and they should all be like technically the same size, since they're all like lion heads.
It's not perfect, but it gives you an idea.
Right. No, I get you, but like I just remember seeing that picture of Keith.
Optimus Prime's 7 meters, right, according to this chart, and Voltron's 60 meters.
Okay.
So if you had like, I guess the combiner would be probably.
Yeah, but then you got a space shuttle over there, so that means that Blastoff is like 3/4 the size of Voltron. But then you got to take into account that Swindle's a Jeep, so he's like maybe this up to Prime's waist.
I remember seeing those images. Remember seeing those images of the big giant
Bruticus with
everything was to scale. Bruticus were to scale.
I can't read that. What is that humanoid shadow next to the Gypsy Danger?
Humanoid shadow.
There's like a humanoid shadow in between Voltron and Pacific Rim.
The Strike Freedom. That one?
I don't. No, you can't see that shadow in the background.
It's just saying that if a human were that size, they would weigh 12.7 million pounds.
Oh, okay. Because this thing doesn't let me zoom in, so I was like, "What the fuck is that, man?"
You should be able to just click on it and it enlarges it.
No, not in mine. Not in my Discord. Well, it brings it up to full size. Man, listen, I'm wearing fucking glasses these days, dude. I can't see that shit. Oh, now I can see it. I put my glasses on.
So here's I just brought up another one. Like it says here that Devastator is 16 meters. And
16 meters?
And Omega Supreme is 18 meters. Mazinger Z is 25. Let me copy this one and put it in here.
There is no way that Devastator is only twice the size of Optimus Prime.
I see there they would be taking mass shifting completely out of the equation, because you figure like if Constructicons were like Seeker size, you like
click on that link. Click on that link I sent there. It's like a really big image that'll pop up, gives you an idea of like the same stuff.
There we go.
Yeah, there's no way Devastator is only 16 meters. I'm not buying that.
No,
because it's already been established that Optimus Prime comes up to like his knee.
Well, yeah. Well, what are they saying? Prime.
And if Optimus Prime is 7 meters,
and it says he said here it says
he's 6 meters, and Grimlock is 7, which is bullshit. It's
well, I mean, if you look at Bumblebee is 3 and Prime 7.
I don't know. I can see that.
Oh no, I'm okay with those sizes. I'm not okay with the Devastator size. I think Devastator is much bigger than that.
Well, that all depends on what sometimes in the movie. They showed Devastator, like you see the size, and I realized that it's weird because the drawing, it's like a perspective drawing, so it was 1 foot's on the line, but like just hypothetically speaking, that scale that we see in that picture, the Prime to the Devastator, is like the movie scale. Like like when Devastator was trying to break the wall down. So we've seen him basically the size of like if the Constructicons just all piled on top of each other and form Devastator, and it would be that size. But we've also seen in the cartoon where like when they would make the combiner, they would be like skyscraper size, which is out of control. So it's like, you know, scales, like we could talk about G1 scale until we blew in the face.
The cartoons are always draw the scat scale, like all. I mean, look at so like when Bruticus grabbed Shockwave, right, and used him as a gun. Yeah. So they made it like, and like here, like if you look for its race, Omega Supreme's 18 meters, which means he's only 2 meters bigger than Devastator, which I would have thought he was a lot bigger than Devastator.
Yeah, I always got that impression too, that he was way bigger.
But in comparison to Voltron, you know, Voltron's like 3 times the size of a combiner.
Right.
Yeah. Do you guys? I noticed they put Megas XLR on this. Did you ever watch that show?
No. I don't even know what that is. I mean, I see
that show was trash.
It looks dumb.
It was.
He have a flaming 8-ball tattoo as a robot.
It was a giant alien robot that didn't have a head that crash landed on Earth, and some guy found it, some stoner dude, and so he took his car and attached it as the head, and that's how he controlled the thing, because he was able to somehow get that thing to work, and so he painted it up and everything. That's why it's got all that paint and stuff on it. So
I never even heard of that.
No, the show was just dumb, and it was supposed they were trying to make it like a comical, cartoon and stuff like that with like all sorts of jokes and funny stuff and everything. And they were just trying way too hard to be funny, and it was just awful.
Yeah, I never even heard of it.
You know what's a better big giant robot cartoon? The Big Guy and Rusty. That's a great show.
I don't know that one either.
That was on Fox Kids. It was based off an old Dark Horse
comic. You would know it if you saw it, Jed.
Okay. I never watched Evangelon. What is that? The purple robot?
Evangelion.
Yeah.
Evangelion. Never watched that either. And I don't know what that white. I don't know what the white chick robot with the big giant javelin thing is either.
That's what's her name? Fucking.
That looks dumb.
That's Firebird Nicey.
That looks fucking fucking look at how small the titties are. That ain't Nicey. Look at them little titties.
I'm sure that's some awesome anime that I have never watched that everyone loves, but I don't know who that is.
It looks like doo-doo.
Yeah. So
she has. I would have thought the Megazord. Look at her cankles. She looks like she's wearing a pair. It looks like she's wearing a pair of high heels, and her calves just go straight down into the high heels, like
from the fucking 60s. Cankles,
big fat pair of cankles.
No, that's actually a robot trope where like they have feet. They don't actually have feet per se. That like where their legs just go right down to like points, and that's how they stand.
That's a Rob Liefeld.
So some like there's some anime robot designs that do that. Like remember the game Zone of the Enders, Jed, from by Hideo Kojima, I think made it.
Yes, I remember it.
That robot had that same kind of design.
Oh, okay.
Where like, not because I mean this does look like it does have feet because it's got that paint, but it really there is no tapering off of the foot. It just goes like straight down. But the robot in Zone of the Enders had the same kind of design.
I would have thought like the Megazord was the same size as Voltron. I guess I'm wrong. It's a lot smaller.
I actually knew that they were different sizes because of the Death Battle episode with Voltron versus the Power Rangers Megazord. During the lead up into it, they said that they were actually different. The Voltron was actually supposed to be much bigger, but they scaled them to the same size or close to the same size for purposes of the Death Battle.
Was this like this was a real thing, or was this like some fan thing?
No. Well, it's a fan thing, but it's a channel. Like it used to be on a channel called Screw Attack.
Yeah,
and they just take fantasy matchups and then they analyze as much information as they can of what the capabilities of each character are, and they actually will calculate out using math and science to see just exactly how strong they are and match them up, and then they'll actually do an animated fight and stuff with them, and then.
That's not the same one that did like the Batman versus Vader, is it?
Yeah. Oh no. You're talking about that live action thing?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, this is called Death Battle, but like Screw Attack, I got shut down.
Iron Man versus Optimus Prime. Was that one of them?
I don't remember.
I saw that. I saw a painting or a drawing with that. It looked pretty cool.
Like Screw Attack shut down, and then I guess they just changed or made a channel called Death Battle that specializes only in these Death Battle matchups. One of the big ones that they've done several times was like Superman versus Goku, Hulk versus Doomsday. One was Starscream versus Rainbow Dash from.
I remember that. I remember that.
My Little Pony. And My Little Rainbow Dash actually won that one. They said,
"Oh, for Christ's sake!"
Yeah, I remember that one.
So
wait, if Voltron didn't eat the Megazord's face in that battle, it's all garbage.
Oh no, Voltron won that battle.
Yeah. All right, good. They got one right.
But yeah, like no, Doomsday beat Hulk. There's a bunch of others.
Do you remember that one image that I shared like a few years ago? It was Magneto like ripping apart Optimus Prime and pulling the Matrix out and shit. That was a really cool photo.
It sounds cool. I don't remember seeing it, but it sounds cool.
It like started this big, huge debate. Art and I had and a couple other people about, how Optimus Prime wouldn't be metallic, how it might be something else. And then then I quoted the episode where they got painted up to look like Menasor, and Windcharger uses magnetic powers to keep them together as a combined. Aha.
I mean that's good detective work by you, but it's still using G1 cartoon science,
Yeah. Basically, it's like Newton versus Einstein on that part.
Didn't Lord Chumley also trap Optimus Prime with a magnet?
Probably.
Didn't in the like Almost Human episode, didn't they like lift up the robots with magnet cranes or something too? I
think so. Yeah.
Maybe I'm like
so they're magnetic.
Maybe I'm just making that up.
Magneto would eat them up for dinner.
Yeah. It was really cool image because it just had him like holding his hand out and he was floating there. Prime with his like chest out open and the Matrix coming out and like his everything like breaking apart. It was a pretty cool visual. Anyway, so that's it for my hauls and shoutouts and plugs and all that stuff. You guys want to move on to the news?
Yep,
yeah.
Let's do it.
So this is interesting because I can't remember if this ever happened before, but in the 114 episodes that we had, there was no one that died that was like related to any of the stuff that we usually talk about. The closest thing, like maybe pop culture wise, would have been like Rush Limbaugh, but we usually don't really talk about politics and stuff. I mean, but he was kind of like iconic, over the years. But yeah, no actors, no artists, no, maybe a couple TV producers or something like that, but nothing at all. So,
you know who died? You know who died this week, Jen?
Who?
My ex Transbox Cup.
I'm glad I canceled that. I'm just glad.
Yeah.
Did you mention Dustin Diamond last time?
Yeah, he did.
You did?
So.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
That was February 1st though. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, man. I looked through and didn't really see anybody. That was
wow.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll skip that part and just move right to the trailers. Which one would you like to talk about first?
Well, we're either going to talk about Mortal Kombat first, or we're going to save that one for last. So
let's do it first. You brought it up. Let's do it first.
Right.
To precursor your discussion about Mortal Kombat, that trailer is the red band version of the trailer is the most viewed red band trailer of all time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
They just proclaimed that, I think it was today. It has the most views of a red band trailer ever.
So before we talk about it, I just want to quick touch on something that we've talked about before, like the video game to movie Jinx or whatever it is that was that ever like broken?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic did well.
Yeah, it did do well.
Like really well, from what I understand.
Okay.
To the point where they're making a sequel and they made a lot of money.
Any others that we can
Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yeah. yeah.
And Street Fighter the movie.
Christ.
What
Which one of those is worse?
Super Mario Brothers.
Levy, which one of those is worse between Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat 2?
Oh, dude, Mortal Kombat.
I'll tell you which one's worse.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
I'll tell you which one's even worse than that. The King of Fighters movie.
Oh, that's terrible.
I didn't even know that existed.
Oh, no.
Right.
Dead or Alive.
No, that was better than King of Fighters, I think.
No, it was not. No, it was not. I've seen both.
King of Fighters.
It's close. It's close, but come on. DOA is definitely worse. That movie is so bad. But to answer your question, Mike, I will watch Street Fighter. I would definitely watch Street Fighter over Mortal Kombat Annihilation solely because of Raul Julia.
Yeah, I agree as well.
He was a treasure. He was a national treasure in that movie, and I'm so sad that he passed because that meant that we were not going to get a Street Fighter 2.
You know, Ming Na was in that as Chun-Li.
Yeah, she was as Chun-Li. Yeah.
Street Fighter or Fist of the North Star?
Street Fighter.
Like you'd watch that before. Yeah, Fist of the North Star was terrible.
Fist of the North Star was trash, dude. The
live action, right? Yeah, live action.
Yeah, live action was trash.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know a movie's bad back then, like, because sometimes we would even like bad movies just because we were really into the subject matter of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because if you really watch the first Mortal Kombat, listen, it's a fucking cult classic, and I love it, you know. But
it's not award-winning filmmaking.
It's not. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Christopher Lambert was in
it. but that all being said, like, that's a fucking it's awesome. The movie's fucking awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we loved it then, and we still love it now. But like, even back then, like Fist of the North Star and Street Fighter and that second, like, you weren't even getting that by us at that age, and we wanted to. You know, we weren't as cynical as we are now. Like now, we're all ready to fucking think something sucks until we see it and we're like, hey, that was pretty good. Back then, we were the complete opposite. We were young and wide-eyed and you know, we just wanted to love everything, and we still hated that shit.
I will say that I did not walk out of Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Okay,
I really should have.
How about this one? Street Fighter, right? The movie, or Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li.
I have never seen The Legend of Chun-Li, but I heard it was a shoot. But I will say I heard that what's the guy who was in he played Charlie Nash and he was in American Pie. You know who I'm talking about?
Oh, Chris Klein.
Chris Klein, that's his name.
Chris Klein.
I heard that he made that movie just watchable because he was just so I don't know if he was intentionally or unintentionally. I think he was intentionally bad. He was just hamming it up. But like from the scenes that I've seen of him, I really do want to see the movie solely for him.
It was basically a CW version of Street Fighter. It was terrible.
It was a what?
A CW version of Street Fighter. Yeah, Neil McDonald he played Bison. It was terrible.
Yeah,
bad.
No, but I will. From what I've seen, he is that version of Street Fighter's Raul Julia. He's the Raul Julia of that movie. So. But yeah, Kristen Craig was awful, I'm sure, and freaking that's. Ugh.
All right, well now that we trashed everything, let's talk about the actual Mortal Kombat trailer.
Yeah, set expectations nice and low.
I'm completely and totally psyched for this, man. I cannot fucking wait. I'm so happy it's coming out, and I'm so happy it's coming out soon, and I just can't wait to see it. And I pretty much loved everything about the trailer. Although there was one particular little nugget that I found interesting, and I don't know if I'm not sure what I was seeing, but I know what I heard, so I'll ask you guys about it. When was it Raiden that's talking, and he's talking about Earth's heroes and shit, and he starts naming them: Sonya, Jax, Johnny Cage, included Kano on that list. Found it rather interesting. And then there was a scene. There was a scene where it was only for half a second, and I had to pause it because it went so quick. It was a scene where I think Kung Lao was in the foreground, and then the rest of the guys were behind him, and I'm pretty sure Kano was in that group. While you guys are talking about it, I'm gonna go to YouTube and see if I could get a screenshot of it. But yeah, I don't know. I just found that interesting that Kano. I don't know if it's one of those things where maybe he sells them out and switches sides during the movie, or it's some kind of plot device or something like that. But I just thought it was interesting that they had
or he's just fighting for Earthrealm.
Yeah. So, but man,
no Johnny Cage. I didn't see Johnny Cage.
Yeah. That was
they didn't show Shang Tsung like a lot either. Maybe he's not going to be like the main bad guy. It's probably he'll be more of a lackey.
I guess we'll find out.
You think I'll focus more on the the ninja like story, like Scorpion, Sub-Zero versus.
It looked like Sub-Zero was getting a hell of a lot of FaceTime. Him and Scorpion. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I don't know if they're doing that based off of. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they are always the most popular characters for the most part. Who was the dude? Younger Asian cat that was like that was in the. Was that
Cole?
Kung Lao or who was that? Who were they?
Cole, that character. I don't think we don't know who he is. I don't know if it's going to be like you're that character is you're the viewer. Like he takes like that real world point of view to the whole thing, or if he's just some hidden character that they haven't revealed. The one where he pulls the shirt down and goes the birthmark and it shows the Mortal Kombat symbol on his chest.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, I didn't know who the hell that was supposed to be. I don't know. It was almost like he was putting off like a Liu Kang vibe, but I think Liu Kang is in. Yeah, Liu Kang was in the trailer. He was the one that made the fire dragon and shit.
I couldn't remember where I'd seen the guy that playing Shang Tsung before, but then I figured out he played Mr. Lao in The Dark Knight.
Okay, maybe that's who Cole is. Maybe Shang Tsung, this guy. I don't know. Just making shit up.
Okay, so I got this screenshot. I'm gonna put it in the chat here in a second. So it's definitely So it was Raiden in the foreground, not Kung Lao. But yeah, that's Kano in the back left. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, that's Kano.
So you got Kano, Liu Kang.
Kung Lao looks so badass, man.
Kung Lao, yeah, he does, man.
I'm loving that.
And that Cole guy, and then it's like Cole, that Cole guy or whatever. He's like looks like the stand-in for Johnny. Really, he's kind of dressed like Johnny. I don't know. And then Sonya, but yeah. So they got Kano along with those guys. So it's interesting, and he doesn't have his eye plate either.
Does have
he does have but I don't know if I don't know if that was from later in the movie. Like I'm not sure. Like Kano's story might actually play out during the movie. You know,
right?
It might play out during the movie. Because all the old lore has him and Sonya really hating each other, and there they are standing together. Unless it's like one of those, well, we gotta, our little beef can wait until we save the universe from Outworld or whatever. I guess.
The guy that's playing Raiden played Hogan in the Thor movies.
Hogan in what movies? Oh, okay.
The Thor movies.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's a good actor. Is that the same? I'm sorry, I don't know Mortal Kombat lore that well, but the dude with the hat, right? Is that the same dude that has like the things hanging down from the hat too, or is that a different character?
No, that's different. That's that dude there with the hat. That's the guy with the blade. He has a blade hat, and he like chop a motherfucker in half. Right.
Who's the other dude with the things that hang down from a hat, like tassels?
We sure that's Mortal Kombat? That must be a newer character because I don't remember anybody from.
It's like blue. He has like a blue hat and like. Maybe I'm thinking.
I don't remember anybody with any tassels.
And it's one of those. It's one of them big ass hats, like one of those big like.
Yeah, it's like a big hat, and it's like round, and it has like little balls hanging down around the hat.
I got little balls hanging down.
I don't know of anybody in Mortal Kombat like that. Unless it might be like an alternate costume for Raiden or something.
Nah, I've never seen that shit.
Like he's a Spanish guy. Maybe I don't know.
You know what? Now you bring that up, I don't know that Spanish might be the only. There might have never been a Spanish Mortal Kombat character. They had black characters and Asian characters and alien characters and everything. There's no. You have to look into that, man.
Who's Movado? Mavado?
Mavado. No, he's a character from the dark years of Mortal Kombat. Between Mortal Kombat 3 and Mortal Kombat 9. Those are the years that we really don't talk about Mortal Kombat because it was.
You know what,
trash.
Levy? I liked 4, man.
Nah, 4's garbage, dude. You go back and look at it. It's pretty trash.
Well, it's not. Malvado is Spanish for bad guy. So.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go then.
So
about goddamn time. Which one was he in?
I don't know.
9.
There's after there was Mortal Kombat Deception, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and Mortal Kombat Dark Alliance.
Yeah, he was in 10.
No, he was not.
Yeah, he was in.
He made a cameo in Ten.
It was. Yeah, it says Deadly Alliance, Torment Edition, Deception, Unchained, Armageddon.
Yeah,
I must look up.
He wasn't a playable character in Mortal Kombat X.
Oh, I never said that.
But anyway.
But continue your discussion about the since you guys are the big Mortal Kombat fans.
I'm just really excited to see a Mortal Kombat, a well-written Mortal Kombat movie in a time where special effects are fucking awesome and they can do whatever the hell they want to do, you know, storyline wise, and they won't be out of technology in order to pull it all off.
For that briefest of moments that we saw him, Goro looked pretty awesome.
Yeah, he did, man. Well, that was funny too, because I was thinking about that. You know, I was watching when I watched the first one. You know, looking back at that Goro, he's like a Jim Henson motherfucker.
Yeah,
you know, like
remember those two meatheads that were always like, yeah, Goro, yeah.
I hated them. I fucking hated them. Like, and they're like, it's great, but they're just like hate the face guy. Remember we said as Joe and Jeff. It's like I hate those motherfuckers, man. I hate Joe and Jeff, but those two motherfuckers, man, I couldn't stand it. Like they'd always be screaming, and they would always do it at the same, like simultaneously, and it was so effing annoying, you know.
Uh-huh. Those are $500 sunglasses, asshole.
Yeah, yeah. It was so good. I mean, I said it wasn't a you know, how did you describe it, Levy? It was not an award-winning
it was not award-winning it was not award-winning.
Yeah. But that being said, there was a lot of good. It had a lot. It was as a cult classic, it's fucking awesome. And it had heart, and it had a lot of really good one-liners, man.
They tried to make it as close to the game lore and make the characters as true to the source material as they could.
Yeah, and they succeeded. And the proof that they succeeded is that people like us went to see it 8 nights in a row or some shit. The first
we saw it, dude. Don't try and play it down. We saw it 14 days in a row.
Was it that many times? I remember
14
being a lot, but we were let's go see
2 weeks straight. You and I went to the theater and watched that. We paid for 14 fucking tickets each to see Mortal Kombat. And it was really funny too, because I'm sure we talked about this before, but you know, it all started out by chance, because we all went to see it on opening night together, right?
Right.
And then the next night at work, I was telling my friend about it. I said, "Hey, you want to go see it?" He's like, "Yeah, let's go see it." So after we got out of work, we went to go see it. We happened to see you there, so we all sat together and watched it again. And then I don't remember how we got to seeing it the third time. I think maybe one of us called the other and says, "Dude, let's go watch Mortal Kombat again." It just went from there, and we just went to see how many days in a row we could go watch. I think by the 14th day, we're like, nah.
It was like 1996. It's like, yeah, you know, we went to see Mortal Kombat. It's like, how much did that cost you? Oh, about $147. not counting the $8 popcorn.
Yeah, not counting concessions.
Jesus, what a bunch of losers, right? Well, I hope this one in closing, at least my closing, I hope this one makes me as happy as that one did. And
yeah,
I think it's going to be good.
I think I was thinking of like an alternate costume for Kung Lao with the blue hat. I think that's what I was thinking of without the tassels. I might have been thinking Deadpool with the tassels over his head.
Yeah. Well, with the current games, yeah, they have interchangeable gear with like way different costume designs. Like Kung Lao in like Mortal Kombat X and Mortal Kombat 11 has so many different hat designs. Some like some of them are actually really cool. Like, you know, he like because, you know, normally traditionally his blade is like, you know, smooth, has a smooth edge to it, but like some of the designs had like real jagged edges and stuff that looked really neat, and like offset cuts into the brim of the hat and stuff. It looked really cool.
Cool.
So,
did you guys want to talk about anything else with more?
No, I think I don't know. I got out everything I wanted to get out about that particular movie.
What's next?
MODOK.
Yes. MODOK.
That looks like it's being made by the same people who do freaking Robot Chicken almost.
Yeah, doesn't it? Yeah, it does.
And Patton Oswalt as MODOK is inspired. It's an inspired casting right there. It's fantastic.
I fucking love the part where he asks him what MODOK stands for, and he's like, you know, he shoots the plane. I made it. And then he shoots the
Only for
parachute.
killing.
Yeah, it looks. I thought it had like a Lego movie vibe to it a little bit. Outside of the fact that it wasn't Legos.
The AIM guy that was the tax auditor or whatever, he had like a little green brim on the front of his helmet.
Yeah.
Whoa, I thought this coffee was for everybody.
Yeah. That looks fun, man. That looks fun.
I hope we see Gwenpool in the MODOK series, because like in the Gwenpool comic, like MODOK was pretty prevalent.
I never read that.
No, I read a little bit of it, but I kind of read more of a synopsis of it, and yeah, she got involved with AIM and stuff. She actually teamed up with the Leaper for a while, and they actually made the Leaper into a cool character in that story, from what I understand. So,
it's French dude you're talking about from Captain America.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, he was always like a lame comic book character.
Yeah, no, but like in Gwenpool, they actually wrote him to be like kind of a cool character. He's really interesting. He was like
on the same level as the Porcupine Man.
Yeah.
I never read or even heard about like the whole Shadow and Bone series, but it looks cool. It has like that fantasy element.
You know what? But that whole premise sounds very similar to my D&D campaign world I'm making. Remember how I said I had that blighted area where like, you know, that like is like going to be like a it's like poisoning the land and stuff like that, and like all these dark monsters come from it, and it's like, you know, just an area of darkness, and there's supposedly like a portal to another plane of existence open in there somewhere, and that's where all this stuff is coming from. And so yeah, it sounded very it looked very similar to, you know, what I had conceptualized for my D&D campaign world.
That reminds me of this meme I saw the other day. It's like it says, "I invented a new word, plagiarism."
That's pretty funny.
But it looks interesting. I think that's on Netflix, right? It's going to be coming out. So I'm down for another fantasy series. We could talk about the boring ass Justice League trailer, Levy.
There's been so many Justice League trailers, I can't remember which one this was.
The one that came out right around Valentine's Day.
Yeah. I'm excited to see this movie. I don't have a lot of high hopes for it. But I am excited to see it. You know, I love DC. I love DC Comics. I want to see these characters get their just due, you know, and I just don't know. But, you know, we'll see. But
I heard there was going to be, when that comes out in the theaters, there's going to be a 10-minute intermission during the movie.
It's a 4-hour fucking movie.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's longer than JFK, dude.
It was supposed to be like a 4 episode miniseries, like with 1 hour episodes, but they said nope, we're making it a 4-hour full length movie. Like,
that's ridiculous.
Wow, I thought we ended that kind of trend with the Lord of the Rings special editions, or was it the Hobbit special editions? Then after that,
yeah, that was. Was the running time on that 12 hours? If you want to watch all 3 movies or something.
Yeah. The special editions of Lord of the Rings was like 4 hours each. Some I think maybe a little over 4 hours.
Whew. What about the Invincible?
That looks good. I can't wait to see that.
I like the Marky Mark version better. Go Birds.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited for Invincible.
One of you guys was not. I guess it was you, Jed. You weren't too high on this when you saw, because we watched another trailer of this a while ago. Did we not?
Yeah.
Josh asked me to read it like months ago, and I think I read like the first 10 issues, and it was just really boring to me. I didn't really dig it that much, but he told me that it starts to, you know, pick up like after that. So I'll have to give it another shot. It looks like it has the typical, you know, violent action type of shit where people are getting chopped up with lasers and stuff. So
yeah,
that's always fun.
Yeah. Gore.
Yeah. It's Robert Kirkman, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, and the last one was what? Army of the Dead. Yeah,
that movie looks like straight trash.
Really?
Yeah, that movie looks like trash, dude.
Really?
Ugh.
Even
Like they're going to rob some sort of vault somewhere. Was it in Vegas? Is that it?
Yeah.
They're trying to steal a bunch of money. What the fuck do they have for money in this world?
This 2 weeks ago, remember? Remember I said the whole, remember
about the peninsula, right?
Yeah, the plot of Peninsula is the same thing.
Yeah, we don't know that the entire planet is overrun with zombies.
No, the movie looks like trash.
Wow.
I don't
like Zack Snyder's
I like Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, I like that a lot. It's one of my favorite zombie movies. I don't know. I think I'm just played out on zombie movies, man. I never thought I'd say this, but
I'm with you, Levy. That's what I was thinking. As soon as it kicked in and I saw it was a zombie movie, the first thing I thought is like, this could be a fucking awesome movie, but I think that we need to put the zombies to rest for just a little bit. Yeah, right, so to speak.
Werewolves need to make a comeback.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Vampires were hot for a long time. Yeah. And zombies. Werewolves got to come back, man.
Levy, really they sparkled. And
Levy, I got news for you. Vampires are always hot.
No,
not when they're sparkly.
Yeah, well, that wasn't the only vampire movies out at the time. There was others. Well, I mean, it was all still the same angsty tween bullshit. But
Jed, it's so funny you said that, dude. So a lot of times, like, we'll fall asleep on the couch down here, and the TV, like whatever we're watching, that's what channel stays on. And whatever I don't remember what we were watching last night, but I woke up this morning and Twilight was on, man, and I felt so dirty. Get this the fuck off the TV.
I got dragged to every one of those.
Oh, by who?
April.
Oh, well, yeah, well, April is the target audience. Yeah, it is the target audience.
Yeah, absolutely.
How old was she at the time? In her 20s and shit, right?
Yeah. Now, I will say though, I mean, the werewolves in those movies, they were actually kind of cool.
They weren't as cool as the Lycans in Underworld, Levy.
No. Right. I mean, as far as werewolves go, I mean, they were kind of neat. I mean, they would shapeshift into these big, giant, fucking dire wolves. So yeah, that's cool. I mean, the whole fucking love triangle between the what's his fuck name and fucking sparkly vampire bitch and
no, there was nothing.
Captain No Charisma.
Who was that?
Well, she's Kristen, whatever her fucking name is.
She
has like worst. No, I'm sorry. In that movie, she had no charisma whatsoever. She's actually supposed to be a pretty good actress now. She's had some really good roles lately.
If you guys watch Underwater, she actually does a really good job in that movie.
Does she make the same stupid ass face that she makes all the time?
The you got my order face. Yeah.
Did you ever see? You guys know who Anna Kendrick is, right?
Yeah.
Who?
Anna Kendrick, because she was also in those Twilight movies. Yeah. She does like a spot on impression of Kristen Stewart. Like spot on. It's so funny.
Like it's funny, or she's like making fun, like really making fun of her.
Well, no, it's funny. But like it is spot on. Like she's got her mannerisms and that weird thing that she does where she I can't describe it, but you know what I'm talking about. Like you got my order. I ordered a fucking feta salad with tomatoes, and you brought me a fucking hamburger. Yeah, and she does that nod thing. She flicks her hair back over your ear, and the way she talks. Yeah, Anna Kendrick's impression of it is like fucking spot on. It's fucking hilarious. But But anyway, as I was saying, werewolves need to make a comeback. They need to make a comeback in a big way.
I agree.
Speaking about Underworld, I watched like all those movies like a few months ago. I watched them all, and if anybody's never seen them, like make sure you stop at like 3 and don't watch.
Right.
Yeah. I would say stop at 2.
No, the prequel was actually better than 2.
Was it? I don't remember that one.
The third movie with the prequel. Yeah. Yeah, that was, that's when it was like when it took place way back in time. And
was that the one with Rona Mitra instead of Kate Beckinsale?
I thought she was in all 3 of them.
No, she was in all of them. Kate Beckinsale.
Was she?
Yeah, this is the one where it takes place as a prequel to
because Rona Mitra was actually Victor's actual daughter, right?
I don't remember.
I can't. Yeah, but anyway, I will say because the right. You remember the real big dude from the first movie
Yeah.
with with that unnaturally deep voice.
Yeah.
He was actually one of the writers for the first movie. Yeah, he actually co-wrote the movie.
No shit.
And I will say, Jed, you might be familiar with the White Wolf World of Darkness games, Vampire the Masquerade and Werewolf the Apocalypse.
I heard of those, but I've never played them.
It seems to me like they took I can't remember if they said that they did, but it seems like they took a lot of inspiration from those World of Darkness games from White Wolf. With the whole vampire and werewolves war and stuff like that, and
right.
It seems like that there was a lot of inspiration taken from it. But I'd like to see them try and do another series, like a TV series or a movie from set with one of those old games, like whether it's Werewolf the Apocalypse or Vampire the Masquerade. I think Vampire the Masquerade might work better, but those were good. Those were good games.
What was that?
I used to play Werewolf a lot back in the 90s.
Well, that was a vampire TV show with the
Kindred, the Embraced.
Yeah.
That was actually directly adapted from Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah, I knew there was something that was similar to that was on TV. Yeah. That's from the 90s, right? I think. Yep.
But yeah, it was directly adapted from it. You had all the vampire clans, the Ventrue, the Bruja, the Toreador, Malkavians.
The Brouhaha vampires.
Yeah. So the Gangrel. Do you remember Gangrel from WWF?
The one from Cobra, who played the bad guy in Cobra, was like one of
Brian Thompson, Brian Johnson, I can't remember his name.
Sure.
He has that really big square jaw. He was actually the guy that one of the guys that the Terminator killed in the first Terminator movie.
I just remember
with Bill Paxton.
Yeah,
he's one of the three punks.
I just remember him.
But yeah, he played one of the he played the Bruja clan leader, I believe.
Brouhaha.
No, it's not Brouhaha.
Anyway,
so
that's all the trailers. I did watch Willy's Wonderland with Nick Cage.
Yeah,
that was the like the parody of Five Nights at Freddy's. It was okay.
It was okay.
It was. I was expecting more crazy Nick Cage. And I didn't get any crazy Nick Cage.
It's really because the trailer really gave that impression you were going to get crazy Nick Cage.
No, it was just kind of like he was there. He didn't actually really say. I think Kurt Russell probably said more words in Soldier than he said in this movie.
That's disappointing, actually.
He said one word, maybe that was it in the whole movie.
What?
Yeah.
Come on.
That's disappointing. The beginning thing, like with him, like kicking the shit out of the first, like anima, whatever, fucking like ostrich or whatever it was pretty cool. But yeah, it got kind of lame after that.
Damn.
But I was expecting more crazy Cage, but I didn't get it. I watched Monster Hunter.
Oh, how was that?
Straight
was
trash.
Bummer. That's a bummer.
It was like a 90s.
It's a Paul W.S. Anderson movie. What do you expect?
Yeah, it was a 90s Resident Evil movie. So, not being ever played any of the video games, I have no idea. Like some of those characters that I think I was supposed to know who they were, like the cat tabaxi looking pirate dude or whatever. Yeah. Was a chef. I think maybe he was supposed to be somebody that I was supposed to know, but the problem with that movie was they focused too much on like the same couple of monsters, and that was it. It was like the spidery type of monsters and like some sand monster thingy, whatever, and that was it. And then like the dragon at the end, and Ron Perlman with like the crazy blonde wig he was wearing looked just ridiculous. It was like he was like half made up for Beauty and the Beast, and then they just never finished, you know.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it was and there was like the fight scenes like they had with Tony Jaa. It was like quick cuts, and you didn't really get to see all the cool stuff.
That's disappointing because Tony Jaa is one of the greatest martial artists on film.
Yeah, it was, I don't know. It was they like left it open for a sequel, but I don't know.
Let's hope not.
If they're able, it wasn't like a waste of 2 hours, but it was just I wanted more and I didn't really get it. But it was okay. It was meh.
You want a really great Tony Jaa fight scene? You should see the one movie where he's going after the people who stole his elephant.
Yes, I saw that. Is that the one where he's running through the street and he jumps through like a window, something like that? And then
no, there's one fight scene where he gets. I think it's probably towards the end, where it's a one long take as he's making his way up a building.
Yes,
like floor by floor.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was really good.
Take, and there's no camera cut trickery. This is legitimately one long take. And there was one scene where he kicks somebody off the ledge, and then they go over, and then the camera slowly moves over to look down, and you actually see the guy laying on the ground, like 5 floors down. So what they ended up doing is they had a pad for the stuntman that fell over the edge to land on, and as soon as he landed, they had to pull that pad out of the way, out of view of the camera, and have another actor lay down on the ground, or maybe the same actor, I don't know, lay down on the ground, make it look like he just landed on the ground.
It's crazy.
So yeah, you should. I'll see if I can find that fight scene. I'll post it here or in the BNS chat.
Yeah, I remember that movie with the elephant. That was a lot of good stuff in that.
The Corridor Crew guys talked about it in their good and bad stunts.
Yeah.
Video the one time. So
I watched the first season For All Mankind. I was telling you about that before, Levy. That's the alternate history thing. It takes place in the 60s when we're first going to the moon, and the Russians get there first. Yeah. And the space race keeps going like all the way up into the 80s. It's good. It's a good drama. But I saw this really good movie last night. It's on Netflix called Space Sweepers. It's like this Korean science fiction movie, and it's really unique because all the people like of different ethnicities, like there's Russians, French, Americans, Koreans, they all talk in their like normal dialect, and they're all wearing like ear like translators, you know. So it's like a lot of fish. Yeah, Babelfish. Yeah, it's a lot of it's like subtitled, but you know it's mixed in with English, and you could watch the English version of it if you want to as well. But and I watched it with like the Korean version because that way you could actually hear, you know, people speaking like French or whatever, and you know, and there is one point where they're trying to impersonate somebody. The Korean dude starts speaking Spanish. It's kind of funny, but it kind of gives you a what's a good, like kind of like a Cowboy Bebop type kind of feel to it, like Firefly, Cowboy Bebop type of thing. Yeah, it's like the crew is really unique, and there's a lot of character development around it. Yeah, and the members of the ship, and it's an interesting story, and it was actually really good. Okay, kind of like a Guardians of the Galaxy, Cowboy Bebop type of Firefly type of feel. I highly recommend it. It's a really good sci-fi.
What's it called?
Space Sweepers.
Space Sweepers. Okay.
Which is based on the idea that around the planet, all the satellites and shit have been like smashing into each other. So people have been basically doing like garbage cleanup for money. So they like go and they get like, you know, what do you call that when you get like a derelict ship and then you tow it in? Salvage. Yeah. So like a lot of salvage around in space and stuff, but it's really good. And they're all broke like Cowboy Bebop, and the one robot's like really funny. It's kind of like it's like a mix of a whole bunch of other different sci-fi stuff. I liked it a lot. I thought it was pretty, you know, if you get past if you don't like reading subtitles, but I liked it. What have you guys been watching? Anything good?
I think I watched something that you suggested to watch a long time ago. I think if this is the same thing. No. the anime, it was like a zombie. I know we just talked about like being over zombies, but it was like a zombie anime. It was only 3 episodes. It was a Cabinary of the something fortress. Did you tell me to watch that a while ago?
Cabinary of the Fortress.
Cabinary. Hang on, let me look the name up real quick.
And it's an anime.
Cabinary of the Iron Fortress.
Yes.
Like they were Dampiers. Cabinary is like Dampiers. I think they were like half, except they were half zombie, half human.
They were on the train, right?
Yeah, and they never called them zombies. They just called them Cabanis. I think they were called.
Yeah,
the zombies they were referring to them, and
right.
Kind of had and it was only 3 episodes, so it wasn't like you had to invest a whole shit ton of time. At least
sure about that? I thought there was like 2 seasons.
There might be but I had it on Netflix, I think, and they only had 3 on there so far. Maybe they're only up to 3 English so far. Okay, I would explain the cliffhanger at the end. I just figured I was okay. Because Castlevania was only 4 the first season. So I was all right with it. Thought it was just leading to another. I was look that shit up.
There's 1 season. It's 12 episodes.
You know what? They must have. I wonder why they only had 3 episodes on there.
3 films. Did you watch the 3 films?
Nah, because they were only like a half hour or maybe 40 minutes each, if I remember correctly. It wasn't very long.
I think the 3 films are like kind of how they do Berserk, where they're like consolidated, compressed versions of the first season.
Yeah, nah, these definitely were movie length episodes that I saw for sure.
Yeah, there's 12 episodes.
I'm gonna have to. I don't know what the rest of them were because it's old. It says it's from fucking 2016. It's like, well, how the hell long are they going to take to put these other 9 episodes on here? I'd have been waiting a long time, man, for season 2, quote unquote, to come out.
Yeah, there was actually only 1 season.
Yeah.
And it was made by the same people that made Attack on Titan.
Oh, no shit. Yeah, it was definitely like the animation was cool. It was definitely not like, we always talk about all the cool animation versus this goofy ass chibi almost type of animation that I can't fucking stand, and it definitely wasn't that. It was like, it was cool. I liked it.
Yeah, so it was all right. Yeah, I remember it was a different concept.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know what goes on when I see episode 4 through 12, whenever that happens.
Maybe you can find the compressed movies, like, on Netflix instead, that are English dubbed. Have you been watching Attack on Titan?
No. Well, so we went on. No, we haven't. We've been watching so much other shit lately that we haven't gotten around to. We got to get on that. I think I tried to get on. What did you guys tell me to go on? Not Crunchyroll. Was it Funimation?
Funimation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I went on there and it was the same shit. It was Japanese. I can't remember if the English one. I'm gonna have to go back and check. I got sidetracked.
Let me know. I got them. So.
Oh, okay. In English?
Yeah, I have how many I have? It's 7 episodes in English.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let me go on those before I make you go through the trouble of doing that. I'll go check Funimation and Crunchyroll, and if I cannot find them, then I'll definitely get back to you. Because I want to get on that.
They're on 11 episodes and subtitles, so they're only about 3-4 episodes.
So spoiler free, Jed. Like, how are you feeling so far?
Well, I read the manga up to, I think, like episode 8. I think it was, or whatever. It's real accurate to the manga. Yeah. It's a completely different take on it. There's like time difference. It plays years later. It's kind of, there's a different cast of characters that are like adding into it. They have this whole political thing that's involved in it now. Oh, so good. If you're I was gonna say, like, if you're into just the Titans, them zipping around and killing them, and kind of that thing, it's the storyline is more world building and bigger than what that is.
Well, I think I was ready because you can only watch that for so long because I watched the first season, and I think you might have been on to this second one already at that point, or maybe it wasn't you, maybe it was somebody else that, because you started watching it after me, I think.
Yeah, well, you started watching it and then I zipped through all 3 seasons.
Yeah, but somebody else had told me, like, because I had so many questions. I'm like, well, what the fuck are these things? Titan, you know what I mean? I had no clue because and somebody was like, oh, keep watching. You know, they start explaining shit, and then like obviously by the end of the third season, you were like really, I was into it because I was done with just the mindless, like, you know, humans kill Titans, Titans kill humans. Like you started to get into that mode where it's like, all right, well, what is going on and how did it happen and all that shit. So I'm kind of into that at this point.
It's funny. I started watching this fourth season and I thought the opening title music was shit. And now I'm like addicted to it. Like I got to listen to it every time I watch it. Yeah. It's just
better
really
than the first one. Cause the first one was the first season theme song was awesome.
No, it's not better than the first one. It's like annoying at first. You're like, it's a real catchy and you got to like, and like, oh yeah.
Is it real catchy? Like you're listening to like something cool, or is it like some pop music that you're afraid to admit that you like?
Pop music you're afraid to like.
Thanks for admitting that. I'll let you know what I think when I hear it.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Like Japanese pop music or whatever.
Yeah, but I was real mad when they went to season 2 and they got rid of the theme song from season 1. I was a little annoyed. Yeah, man, that shit fucking rocked, man. And you know what else? You know who else fucked up? Death Note. The Death Note had a great like first season theme song, and then they switched it to that like fucking Tyler metal for the second season. And it's like, oh, what the fuck is this shit, man?
What's a Yumigashi or whatever music, right?
Yeah. Oh, also, and this is like totally old. So I took like a fucking personal day yesterday, like one of those mental health days, and fucking Starship Troopers comes on, and it's like I can't believe how old that movie is, dude. Like you hate seeing shit that you saw when you were like you know in your teens, and it's like, oh my god, that shit came out in 90. What did it come out in 97 or some shit? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
It's a while.
It's like, holy hell, dude. But it gives you a whole new perspective when you watch something that old. Like that was really well done for a movie that came out in the 90s.
Oh yeah, the effects hold up today.
And the funny thing is, like I always gotta laugh like when I see actors from shit that I know from something else, and it's like you see him so long ago, and it's like, man, I never, like, how would you ever know they were in it? But Gabriel, Walking Dead Gabriel was in that movie. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Yeah, that shit is wild, man.
Yep. And that chick's still a fucking whore. Years later.
Which one? Denise Richardson?
Yeah, Denise Richard. Yeah. Hated that fucking chick in that movie.
Oh, dude. Well, yeah, man. That was some bullshit. She pulled on Johnny Rico.
Yeah. Fucking poor Johnny.
And Johnny Rico ended up with the dirty girl anyway, so he was all right.
Amy Smart was in that movie too. Catch that?
Yep. And the Kurgan was the drill instructor.
Yeah, man, it's crazy when you see him look different, because when he first showed up, I completely forgot it was the Kurgan, and I'm looking at him like I should know this cat, but I can't remember from where.
And Walter White's brother-in-law.
Yes, he was like the general or whatever the fuck.
And Michael Ironside, of course.
Yeah, man.
I feel like here, I'll tell you. I'll make you guys feel even older, right? So, Alien came out 42 years ago.
Yeah, right, man. Fucking A, man.
42.
You know what? And that's another one that stands the test of time. And I was watching it. I watched it on purpose too. Not Alien, Starship Troopers. Back to Starship Troopers. But I watched it on purpose to see if it sucked. You know, like if it wasn't as good as I remember. But you know what? It was still good. And you know what? Yeah. It even got better because you realized more now than you did when you first saw it, because you weren't thinking in those terms, that how I know we just got done talking about how we don't like politics and shit, but it was really like a propaganda like film, you know? It was
a satire propaganda.
Yeah. And it was like, I don't know. Well, I guess I didn't really appreciate that as much when I saw it when I was younger, as opposed to.
But I mean, it was made by Paul Verhoeven, and he made RoboCop, which was also a satire on violence and commercialism and all that.
Yeah.
And corporatism. So
the whole they did an anime of Starship Troopers like which was more faithful to the book than it was to like the movie.
Yeah.
Before the movie came out, and it was okay because they wore more like mech suits and stuff in the book than they did in the movie. And it was like really old 80s anime, so it's really dated. But like the other two movies after Starship Troopers, like the live action ones, I didn't like very much.
But they made
but the
CGI animated series.
There's 2 CGI movies after that are actually pretty good. That they actually
a CGI animated series too.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking of movies, but the what's the guys that played Johnny Rico? Is that actor?
Casper Van Dien.
They had him. They had him do the voice for Johnny Rico in the CGI.
You remember Mike? That wrestler Vince.
Vince, our buddy Vince.
No, the guy that used to live with us.
Well, yeah, he was our buddy. Like he lived with us. He was our buddy. Like
you guys I thought you were referring to Vince Roman.
I go, buddy, and he goes, "No, the guy that lived with us."
No, I thought you meant Vince. I thought you were referring to Vince.
No, yeah, I remember Vincent Goodnight, man. I remember Vince.
No, he was a big Starship Troopers fan.
Yeah,
he loved that movie.
Dude, Vince. Every time you bring Vince up, I can't get past him, like coming down the steps dressed like a fucking like a superhero luchador, like with a cape, like during Raw, dude.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear about this cat, Jed? Did we ever tell you about this dude?
Yeah, you guys told me about with him already.
Yeah, Vince was a.
I remember I called him one time back when he was living in his old apartment, and he just said, "Oh yeah, man, you caught me while I was ironing my cape." It's one of the funniest things I ever heard, man.
My favorite was when Levy shaved his head with the same balls that Vince shaved his fucking Levy shaved his head with the same clippers that Vince shaved his balls with.
It's a funny story. That's
my favorite. Because it wasn't my head.
That's gonna stay with me forever, isn't it?
Yep, no doubt.
Oh, Levy, you know what? Speaking about space stuff, but I forgot to mention, I got these 2 trays. Like they're like these clamp-on desk trays for like a mouse. But I clamped them onto my side of my chair, and I have my HOTAS velcroed onto it when I play Elite on it. Yeah, it's awesome. It's like I got my own flight chair. But you got that whole rig, right? You got that whole driving rig and stuff. I'm assuming you have your HOTAS like all decked out on the sides.
Oh,
well,
he's got his
actually, no, I don't use my HOTAS on. I just use that on my table here.
Oh, okay.
No, I just use that for my racing wheel. So
yeah, they were like $30 a piece. They're supposed to clamp onto a desk, so you can use like for a mouse, for a standing desk or whatever.
Yeah,
but they work good. You can just clamp them on the sides of your chair arms, and
that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. This weekend I gotta swap out my case too. But do you guys want to move on to the news?
Yeah.
All right. So this is some fresh news from today, Levy. Did you hear that they're gonna reboot Superman? They're rebooting Superman movies. No more Henry Cavill as Superman.
That's the rumor.
Yeah.
Even though they had said recently that he is going to be a supporting character in future DCEU films.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be like a Elseworlds thing or what, but
it's going to be by J.J. Abrams, so you know there's going to be lots of lens flare.
And the other news is that they're planning to cast a black actor to play Superman.
I mean, I guess if it's going to be an Elseworlds thing, yeah, I guess, but
that's the hope because people don't want to let go of Henry Cavill as Superman.
Yeah.
Have you watched the Lois and Superman pilot?
I did watch the pilot episode, and I loved it. I absolutely love the show.
I haven't seen it yet. I have it, but I didn't get around to watching it yesterday.
Yeah, I absolutely love the show. I thought it was great.
Cool.
So,
not too CW'd out.
I mean, it had its moments, but I mean, it really did feel different than the other CW shows, I think. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'm eager to see what they do.
In other news, there's going to be a new Avatar animated movie. The original creators are on board, and they're supposed to expand the whole like world of that,
the lore and
the
world. The reportedly Nickelodeon opened or created Avatar Studios,
Okay.
which is a whole division that's supposed to work on Avatar media.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and the original creators are involved in a what did they say, a advisory role or something like that, or a creative role? I can't remember exactly.
They're pretty cool.
I mean, they're
From what
going to
I read,
be very,
yeah.
very involved with it. Yeah, which is
Not-
good. I mean, they should definitely be very involved.
They're not gonna let it turn into M. Night Shyamalan or anything like that, you know.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of nervous for the Netflix show because they left and whatnot. So because I guess reportedly they weren't happy with the direction Netflix was taking the show. So I'm a little nervous for that.
Yeah. Speaking of Nickelodeon, did you hear there's a new Transform tune coming out with Nickelodeon attached?
Yes.
Yeah, I did hear that. But
It's
that's all I
a
heard.
action comedy series
Oh, for Christ's sake.
that will follow a new species of Transformers who must find their place and purpose among Autobots and Decepticons, as well as the human family that adopts them.
Yeah.
Sounds like freaking Thundercats Ho all over again.
Yeah, or what's BotBots? Was that the stuff?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember how I was saying about, like, before when we were talking about Mortal Kombat, how when we were younger, we wanted to like everything until we hated it.
Mm-hmm.
And now we hate everything until we like it. This is definitely an example because, like, I've heard enough.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, it doesn't really bother me that they're making it. I mean, if it's not for me, it's not for me. But, you know, it'll be for somebody.
It's going to be targeted at 7-year-olds instead of 47.
Yeah. So, I mean, so be it. I mean, the more children that we get into the Transformers franchises, potentially more adults that we get into the Transformers franchise.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Or those children become adults.
Speaking of those children that become adults that like Transformers, the next live action film for the Transformers has a working title, and it's called Transformers Beast Alliance.
Oh, wow. Jed Stradamus has chalked another one up, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm. So apparently it's going to take place in the Bumblebee timeline. That whole soft reboot's going to keep going.
Yeah.
The only thing
Jed,
is,
I will never doubt your predictions again, ever. And you know what? You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that Unicron's not going to be able to work without a stand. Sorry, Mike.
Jed's been
I'm
called.
sorry, Mike, but I mean, Jed Stradamus he's batting 1,000, man.
Jed Stradamus has been calling Beast Wars for like 6 years now.
Yeah, and well, you know what? It's coming true.
I said that it was going to be on the 25th anniversary that they were going to announce that, and that's what's happened. This is 25 years now.
Yeah, that's it.
Anyway, so I'm not too keen on.
It's like I said, that Unicron, they ain't doing nothing without a stand.
I think he knows that.
I'm gonna buy sushi with that money. I'm gonna treat myself to a fine. Once the Unicron stands without the stand and does stuff, and once I fucking slay on Beat Saber, I'm gonna treat myself to a fat dinner full of sushi.
No. Nope, won't happen. Anyway, so
It says it's so.
So the only thing the byline on the movie I'm not too keen on, at least it's better than action comedy series. It's noted that the Beast Alliance will have the flavor of a heist that will span from Brooklyn to South America.
Okay.
Okay.
Heist movie for Transformers.
It's gonna be yeah, right, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either, but
it'd be super funny. They call it Beast Alliance and then just there's no Beast Wars shit in it at all. It's like this podcast. It's like, yeah, we got the idea from Blackout and Shout. We're gonna name it after some Beast Wars shit and then just not put any Beast Wars in it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the Transformers. Game of Thrones author George R.R. Martin, he's developing adaptation of Roger Zelazny's Road Marks for HBO.
He's doing what now?
He's adapting Road Marks. That was a book by Roger Zelazny. Roger Zelazny.
Mm-hmm.
Roger Zelazny wrote the Amber series, and which is a really good series. I never read Road Marks, but apparently it's supposed to take place like there's this one highway, and if you find this highway, it basically goes into all these different times and parallel worlds and stuff like that. And the highway was like created by dragons and stuff. So
he's adapting this for HBO.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you think maybe he could adapt his words to like the next Game of Thrones book first? You know what I mean?
Nah, that's old news.
Yeah, old news. It could be new news if he'd actually write the damn book.
I wonder what the end over is on, like where he gets something done versus when I get something. Bet you it's about equal. Well, when was the last time you put a book out, Levy? 10 years ago?
Him? Yeah. Like right after, like I think after the first season of Game of Thrones, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, he's got me on that one then. I'm only on 2, so but that's all the news I got. Did you guys hear anything that you wanted to share?
I got some stuff for toy news, but
what's up with are we going to talk about WandaVision? Did everybody watch it today?
I did.
Yeah, I did. Did you?
I actually did.
Oh,
yeah.
Spoilers for WandaVision, everyone. So
yeah,
don't want to hear this.
Yeah,
Skip ahead to whatever.
That's surprising because you always give a shit, Mike, for watching it right away because you're like,
No,
do you have time to watch? Don't you guys work?
I was on a mission to get 2 things done after work, and one of them was watch WandaVision.
Oh, okay, cool. This was the longest episode yet, I think.
47 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if you subtract the 5 minutes of credits,
yeah,
at the end,
yeah.
Thoughts?
That end credit scene.
Yes.
Very comic-y.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I was pretty psyched on that.
I was very surprised that Vision was a 100% complete magic construct that she didn't steal. Yeah, I mean, they alluded to that she took the parts and rebuilt him, but not at all.
She took old parts, Vision, along with some new parts and made a new Vision. And he was called New Vision.
It's been a while. Glad to be back.
Yeah, that's why he wasn't going to survive outside of the hex.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I did like the end. She basically names her.
What's that?
Yeah.
I like
the
end line that Agatha Harkness says, where she basically
you're the Scarlet Witch. Yeah.
names.
Now, was she alluding to her being a Nexus being?
No.
You're like it's chaos magic and this and that. Like she says, I know what you are, this and that and the other thing.
She just said that she was like mythical, like she wasn't supposed to exist. And from what I remember from the comics, there's this demon. I think it's a demon. It's called Siphon or something like that. Basically, Wanda's born like at a Nexus part in the planes, and he is chaos magic, and he like gives her some of her powers. Gives her her power when she's born, and Doctor Strange thinks it's a bunch of load of shit, and he doesn't really believe in chaos magic. And then when Siphon actually
wait. The Sorcerer Supreme, who has battled denizens of other planes, Dormammu, Shumagorath, doesn't believe in chaos magic.
Right, because it hasn't been around. It's never been around. Yeah, it's like White Gold Wielder type of shit. If you ever read those books, Thomas Covenant books, basically it's like a myth because there is no such thing as chaos magic. It's supposed to be all structured. It's like it's something that's never supposed to exist, and it's because he's basically like an elder god, like Cthulhu type thing, and he's been locked away forever. And Doctor Strange didn't really believe it because there's been no trace or shine of it at all. And when he actually comes back, and then he like, oh shit, this is all real. So I have a feeling that maybe something like that will happen next episode. I don't know if it really is going to be Mephisto behind everything that people are thinking. It might actually be
Chthon.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it. Chthon or something like Chthon, Scython. I don't know. Chahos magic. So yeah. So at least that's the comic part of it. What one person said in the comments, like when like at the end when Agatha had the kids and she had the things wrapped around their necks. Someone said, why didn't they just walk backwards?
It's like that scene in Mortal Kombat when Scorpion had his spear running out chasing after Johnny, and like it stopped, and like apparently it went out as far as it would go, and like it's trying to snap at him. He's like got him backed up against a tree. It's like, yeah, Scorpion, just step forward.
Yeah, he needed that 301st foot of harpoon.
That's funny. You just step backwards.
It's true.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think?
I'm a little disappointed that it had nothing to do with the X-Men yet.
You were kind of sad that it wasn't Magneto as her dad.
Yeah, well, there's that too. Like, I get, what are they just like throwing that shit out, or? Well,
no, her parents, like I guess they didn't know that they were Magneto's children. So I mean that the door's still open for that.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
But they basically confirmed that. Well, not confirmed, but basically alluded to her being a mutant as on her own, because she had powers before she even came into contact with the Mind Stone.
Leaning toward maybe, but I think they're leaning toward more magic than mutant. Like she was a witch, witchy type of powers when she was a kid.
Yeah, but that also means that the Mind Stone enhanced her powers. So that would also possibly imply that Pietro also had his powers beforehand, and that the Mind Stone just amplified those as well.
Right.
So
I'm sure there's a plan.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be some type of explanation. All I know is they retconned some stuff there.
Yeah. I do love Catherine Hahn as Agatha Harkness.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
And that theme song of hers is so fucking catchy. I couldn't stop humming it like for a week.
It has that Munsters feel to it.
Yeah.
There was a part when they were going through her, like, this is your life type of thing. And after they had the, vision and her sitting on the bed, doing their whole moment, and she kind of like wipes a fake tear away.
Yeah.
It was good acting in this episode. What did you guys think about the whole, like, her accent comes and goes because she's been watching like American television as a kid? Yeah,
I thought that was cool. Was a neat idea that they incorporated that aspect of her in like her early childhood, and that's what influenced her shaping of this hex and everything. So, and that like the accent comes back during stressful situations, it seems. So,
and this episode didn't have like a commercial at all.
I took notice of that too. Well, I guess they're kind of getting out of the TV show theme,
right?
So there wasn't really.
Yeah, it's all like lasers now, and in special episodes coming up.
Yeah.
They've been saving their budget for like the last 3 episodes.
Yeah, I'm pretty psyched to see where it goes. A lot of people think it's going to lead right into the multiverse of madness. Doctor Strange.
Well, there's two things, right? I mean,
but a lot of people think Loki's going to show up at the end too.
Paul Bettany said that he wants to work with this actor, and he hasn't shown up yet, or she hasn't shown up yet. And I don't think they've showed what's her name's Monica Rambeau's astrophysics friend, right?
Right. Who do you think that might be? Reed Richards?
I was going more toward like forgot that guy's name now. Blue
Marvel.
Blue Marvel. Thank you.
Adam
Blue Marvel.
Brashear. Yeah, I was hearing that too.
Because they dated in the comics, so
yeah,
I can see that.
And I could see him maybe before Reed Richards because I think
well, John Krasinski's already in the show, so
a TV show wouldn't be the place. The TV series wouldn't be the place to reveal the Fantastic Four. Maybe maybe that's more something for a post-credit scene in a movie.
Some people think that somewhere along the lines here, either in one of these shows or one of these movies coming up, they're going to reveal the Illuminati.
Yeah.
So you're going to see not only Reed Richards, but you're going to see Namor and Professor X kind of all together at one shot. Like really fucking kill you with one big reveal.
I wonder what they're going to do with Black Panther, because he was in that too, was he not?
He was, yep.
So was Iron Man.
And Captain America.
Yeah.
But they also kind of... Yeah, he used the Infinity Gauntlet to stop the planet from crashing into the other ones back when the Black Swan stuff was going on.
Doctor Strange wiped his mind, didn't he?
Yes. And then during that whole Phoenix Force X-Men versus Avengers series, that's when Namor fucked up Wakanda.
Right.
And that's Black Panther left the Illuminati then.
Did Captain America join after Planet Hulk?
Yes.
Okay.
Because that was a mighty Avengers, I think. Was that? No, was that? No, it wasn't that long ago. That was there were so many different Avengers titles in the past 10 years. I can't remember which one it was. They were like, it was like Beast, Professor X, and then they were like all in Doctor Strange. They're all trying to figure out something out, and then Captain America's one would just use the Infinity Gauntlet, and then they did it, and then he had problems with them doing more shit where they were blowing up planets and killing people and stuff, and he was gonna take him down, and then they've like erased his mind and got rid of him. But I don't know.
Then he joined Hydra.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it will spin right into Doctor Strange. That makes the most sense.
Yeah, a lot of magic shit going on.
That might be that's who's going to be like the surprise guest star at the last episode. Now, there's also the people who've been saying that there's a hidden 10th episode that may not just be 9. It might be 10. So
I heard that rumor as well. Yeah, I did hear that rumor as well.
But I guess we'll find out next week. Yeah, this was like a very, straight direct storytelling type of episode. There wasn't like a lot of hidden things in this at all.
Right.
There was one thing I read online that her license plate, when she was driving the car, the bottom of it said Excelsior on it.
Oh, shit. Huh.
Guys, have anything else you want to say about that episode?
Nah, not really.
No? Any other news that you guys have?
No, I don't think so.
How about some weird news then, Levy?
Oh, I have quite a few stories, actually.
Oh, no. How many of them involve penises?
None, I think.
Wow. That's a shock. How many of them are from IF Science? All of them.
3.
Oh, 3 or 4.
3 of them, and 2 of them involve deer.
Do tell.
Okay, so the first one I call Oh Dear. This comes from IFL Science.
Oh, dear.
Deer photographed gnawing on human remains for the first time.
Great.
So apparently a deer broke into a body farm and started chewing on a human body.
That's
great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Carnivorous deer.
Yeah, they have photographs and everything. It's the first known photographic evidence of a deer chowing down on human remains. They witnessed at least one deer scavenging and then holding the bone in its mouth like a cigar on 2 separate occasions.
Wait. First, that's not true. I mean, the movie Slither had the man-eating deer in it. First house photograph, yeah.
On the Korean zombie movie, what was it? Man, The Train to Busan. That had one of the creepiest deers of all time in that movie.
But it wasn't eating anything at that point.
Right, that is true.
Slither was. So
there you go.
Oh, there's pictures. Great.
Yeah. So apparently that corpse had been decomposing for 182 days and had already been scavenged by vultures that remove much of the soft tissue. So it's likely the deer was chewing the dry bone.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You want carnivorous deer? This is how you get carnivorous deer.
Yeah. Okay, so my second story I call Power and Pussy.
Okay.
I like where this is going, Levy.
No, you don't. And this is also from IFL Science, and the headline says, brutal chimpanzee war was likely driven by power, ambition, and jealousy. So apparently there was a family unit of chimpanzees or a social group, and a new leader was crowned. Wait, am I on the right page? I am on the right page. Okay. So apparently a new leader was crowned, but that caused a fracture in the group that led to years of brutal warfare during which raids were conducted, ambushes set, and no one was above murder. The conflict became known as the 4-Year War of Gombe and is the only known fully documented chimpanzee civil war.
Now, how do you say I don't like where this is going? I love where this is going, Levy.
The events were recorded by Jane Goodall after a decade of watching the community of chimps at Gombe National Park between the years of 1974 and 78. Here. The cause of the war has always been up for debate. Was it a natural event that was occurring independently of Goodall, who was simply observing the apes, or was it sparked by the feeding station that she had set up in the forest, bringing an unnatural group of chimps together? She often would wake up in the night with horrific pictures springing to her mind. Satan, one of the apes, cupping his hand below Sniff's chin to drink the blood that welled from a great wound on his face. Jomeo tearing a strip of skin from Dee's thigh. Figgin charging and hitting again and again the stricken, quivering body of Goliath, one of his childhood heroes. Pretty disturbing stuff.
Well, if you name a chimpanzee Satan, what do you think he's going to do with that? Right?
Yeah.
Right.
But they had found that the seeds for the conflict were already there in the years leading up to the war. At the end of the 1960s, all males were intermingling quite happily, but by 1971, the fractures were beginning to show. The northern and southern males were starting to spend less time with each other. Encounters became increasingly aggressive. Within a year, the two sides had become distinct, with the chimpanzees staying and socializing only within their own groups. A full 2 years before the fighting spilled over into full-on warfare. The researchers suspected the divide occurred after an ape called Humphrey became the alpha male, something the southern males Charlie and Hugh disagreed with.
Was there a monolith involved?
But yeah, so over the next 4 years, campaign of skirmishes, violence, and kidnapping, Humphrey and his northern community killed every single male in the southern group, took over their territory, as well as the only 3 surviving females. In fact, this latest study shows that it was likely the limited number of mature females in the force at the time that precipitated the conflict. So that's where the pussy comes in. And they were, it's believed that they were largely driven by ambition, power, and jealousy. Much to the same degree that humans are. Yeah.
when they interviewed Satan, he said, "Ooh, ah, ah," and that's basically translated to crush your enemies, to see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their women.
Oh, that's funny. Satan the Barbarian. So my next story I call Liar, Liar. Well, you know the rest. From the Miami Herald. Miami lawyer whose pants caught fire during arson trial arrested on cocaine charge.
Okay.
So,
right.
yeah, a Miami lawyer drew worldwide notoriety after his pants caught on fire during an arson trial.
How does that happen?
It's reported that he did it on purpose.
Oh.
But he was arrested on cocaine charges. So yeah, I just thought it was funny. You know, he's a lawyer. Lawyers, supposedly notorious liars. His pants caught fire during an arson trial. It was just too funny.
Lawyers are also notorious cocaine users as well.
Apparently this one is. From a local news source, WFMZ.com, I call this surprise, motherfucker. You might have heard this. This is making the news rounds lately. Alaskan woman using outhouse attacked by bear from below. In Alaska, a woman was using an outhouse in the backcountry, and apparently she didn't notice the small black bear that was hiding in the toilet. I got out there and sat down on the toilet, and immediately something bit my butt right as I sat down, Shannon Stevens told the Associated Press on Thursday. I jumped up and I screamed when it happened. Yeah. So her brother heard the screaming, went out to the outhouse. There he found Shannon tending to her wound. They at first thought she'd been bitten by a squirrel or a mink or something small. I opened the toilet seat, and there's just a bear face just right there at the level of the toilet seat, just looking right back up through the hole right at me. I just shut the lid as fast as I could, and I said, "There's a bear down there. We got to get out of here now." And we ran back to the yurt as fast as we could.
The funniest part about that whole story is Levy laughing at it.
He's like, "There's a bear down here." So they went back into the house, and the next morning they found bear tracks all over the property, but the bear had left the area. So
Shitty the poo.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh Pooh, dare I say it?
Okay, so my last story I call, okay, I have a question. What the fuck? This is also from IFL Science, and this is my second deer story. A deer with hairy eyeballs found in Tennessee suburb. And I'm going to show you this picture, and this is going to freak you the fuck out.
Hairy eyeballs.
He had hair growing out of his eyeballs.
What the fuck's going on with deer lately?
And they're carnivorous, and they're growing hair in weird places. Yeah, that's pretty much the story right there.
What in the fuck?
He must have had too much human meat.
Usually it just causes kuru.
Yeah, right?
I'd expected to have the shakes, not freaking growing hair out of its eyeballs.
Yeah.
He got his first round of COVID shots.
So
Lenny, you keep eating that human, you're going to get hair growing on your eyeballs. Didn't listen. That's fucking weird.
yeah, so what's really weird, though, is kuru is actually caused, it's a prion disease. You know what prions are, right?
I don't.
No, I don't either.
Well, they're what cause mad cow disease, and it infects brain tissue. And because it's not a virus or a bacteria, it's actually proteins, and so it doesn't die during the cooking process. So cooking the meat doesn't kill it, you know. So if like during the butchering process, like with an infected cow, if like any kind of nervous tissue or brain matter gets on the meat, those prions can get into the meat, and that's how humans can catch mad cow disease. And if it's not caught, it'll kill you. It burrows through your brain. So anyway, so they thought because they noticed the deer, our residents first noticed the deer, and they notified local wildlife, and because the buck was bleeding, disoriented, and apparently lacked fear of humans, animal control suspected that they may have been infected with chronic wasting disease, which is another prion disease similar to mad cow disease. So, but when they killed it, they discovered that it had a hair growing out of its eyeballs. Here's another picture. This one's even worse than the first one, I think. There you go. Boom.
Jesus. That is so fucking weird, man.
It must have been blind, right?
I don't know.
What if it just like everything it looked like it had an afro?
It turned out that the deer didn't have chronic wasting disease, but was instead suffering from epizootic hemorrhagic disease, which can cause fever and disorientation. That would explain the animal's odd behavior, but not the hairy eyeballs.
Isn't that an expression when you give somebody a hairy eyeball?
Hairy always.
Hairy always, yeah.
Sounds like a drink you get at a bar.
So, they said it was a result of corneal dermoids. Often contain elements in normal skin, including hair, follicles, sweat glands, collagen, and fat that were in its eye. It's weird shit. So it just started growing hair.
You know, Levy, I want to go back to your first deer story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at this picture, and it says January 13th, 2015 on here.
Which one?
That was when it was documented. Oh, Okay. Well, that was like 6 years ago that there was man-eating deer.
It's
Yeah.
old news, Levy.
But the thing, like, what, that caught me was that it was 1:30 in the afternoon, and like deer usually just come out, in the early morning and stuff. But yeah, 6 years ago there was like a carnivorous deer. So
He likes to chat on human at any time.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So this is like 6 years now, man, that there's been this, man-eating deer running around.
Yeah.
And how many more man-eating deers are there now in this past 6 years?
I don't know, man.
This is the first I'm hearing of this story. I mean, have they,
Rise of the Planet of the Carnivorous Deer.
right? Have they fucking hunted them down and got rid of them? Or are they like
carnivorous deer? You got freaking chimpanzees waging civil war on each other.
yeah?
Other deer growing fucking hair out of their eyeballs.
Look at after all this time, we're finally talking Beast Wars.
Beast Wars. Number one Beast Wars podcast.
See, now I would watch Beast Wars if they ate humans.
And had hair growing out of their eyeballs.
Yeah,
Finally, humans in the Transformers movie we can get behind.
they're food.
So that's it for weird news.
Whew. Toy news.
Toy news. I don't actually have a whole ton, but I do have a couple.
Mm-hmm.
So Zeta's putting out some Seekers.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Well,
Wait,
I was
they are?
excited.
I didn't hear about this.
Oh, you didn't?
Zeta's
They showed,
doing like the regular Seekers. Like they did the Coneheads, which was Toy Worlds, obviously, and then Zeta redid them. So a while ago, and just some backstory, Toy World, right before the whole like Zeta thing, when Zeta like, cut loose from Toy World, the designers or whatever, and formed Zeta. Before that, remember they had Toy World actually had teased the Bruticus, but they also teased Thundercracker.
Mm-hmm.
So they were going to be doing like regular Seekers after they had done the Coneheads, and the Thundercracker had a couple of cool accessories. Like it had I know you don't really read IDW, you do, Jed, and you did it came with the dog. Buster, I think his name was Buster, who was most likely named after Buster from the original Marvel comics, I would imagine. But anyway, he was the dog that hung out with Thundercracker, and that was going to come with the Toy World Thundercracker. There was some cool shit. It looked cool, but I mean, it was, that was back then. But then that whole breakup happened between Zeta and Toy World, and they kind of like just disappeared. But since Zeta has been like re-releasing everything that Toy World's ever done, I guess they're putting these back out on the table. So that's right. Pretty much where they came from.
Yep. And
they are slightly bigger scale, just like the Coneheads were. Like the Coneheads are all about MP10 height.
Our on-site detective Nathaniel Armstrong pointed out at first that he's like, isn't the EX Zeta part of the Legends line? And then we did the Mike Kincaid hands investigation to see if it was MP scaled or not,
right? And
then Nate basically said that it looks like they're retooled from the Coneheads.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, they definitely are. And
those little red circles there, Levy, that's they had a little asterisk underneath that said that was supposed to be all die cast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they definitely look cool, man. But they're gonna be big for one. So, but and then again,
go ahead, Mike.
I'm just it's more Seekers.
Well, I was banking on Make Toys coming out with like Thundercracker and Skywarp eventually again as like a re-release with their EX thing, but it doesn't look like they're going to be putting anything out anytime soon.
I'm just not. I just don't see it. I think the Acid Storm got pushed back to March. If that thing doesn't show up by the end of March, I have complete and total like lack of hope for any of the other shit that they showed. And they said they were going to come out with everything they've teased, and it's like, well, they've teased the Headmasters and Coneheads, and I don't know what they consider a tease. Galvatron. But if you're going, if you're the Across Dimensions, right? Yeah, that and I don't know if you would consider a silhouette or a drawing a tease, but I mean, they showed a 8-face Darkwing and Dreadwinds. They showed a lot of shit. At this point, I would be happy with those headmasters and the cone heads, and then if they went away after that, I'd be like, it was a good run, Make Toys, but I just don't see any of this shit, man. If I was a betting man and I had to lay the house down on it, I think they're just donezo. Like I could maybe see the Acid Sword coming out because it's a complete, just total repaint. But those cone heads, man, they're retools, and
you would think that the Starscream that they were going to come out with the extra accessories would have been an easy,
that too.
Run.
Yeah, that too. I forgot all about that, to be honest with you. That was
supposed to be end of January, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe they're putting these out knowing that, or at least thinking that Make Toys is cooked and people don't want to pay, $250 to $300 or whatever for the all those official ones that are going to come out, and these will probably go for what, 150 maybe.
Do you see like some type of weird like competitive like thing with Zeta and Hasbro? Because at first it was the Unicron, right? They announced that, and then they announced their Unicron, and now they announced, the official MPs were announced before. Now this is coming out. It seems they're like trying to compete with the official stuff, which is odd.
That may be what it looks like, but you'd be crazy to actually do so if you were in their shoes.
Yeah, but they are. I mean, they're showing it, and they're saying it's coming soon. If it comes out before, the MPs, then
I think it's more that they're spiting the fuck out of Toy World yet to this day, and the timing of it to me is coincidental that they're doing them at the same. I mean, you might be right too, but even if they are doing it to Hasbro, there's still a little bit of extra serving of fuck you, Toy World, on all this.
Right. Do you own those Zeta cone heads?
I do. Yeah.
How are they?
Well, I didn't get the Zeta ones. I actually did get the Toy World ones, which, I mean, I know they're the same thing, but I got because I think the Zeta ones have like a slightly different paint job, or they're like metallic paint or some shit. The Toy World ones, man, they're cool. They look cool, and they're fairly articulated. There's a lack of hardware. Like the knees don't have any kind of ratchets or anything. So they're okay. They're good. I actually got them for jet mode, to be honest with you. But they're imposing. Like they do have a lot of presence on a shelf for sure.
What were you going for? Bot mode Make Toys?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And my other piece of toy news. So we've now seen, we kind of half thought it was bullshit, but now we saw a prototype of Masterpiece skids. Do you need me to throw a picture in there, or did you guys pretty much see that shit?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Opinions besides the obvious that it's skids.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we talked about it before when they announced it, but there's, what did we say, 6 different possible repaints that they could do.
Yeah. Which I would be down with a couple of them.
Yeah, and that's a popular vehicle in Japan, with the police paint and all that stuff. I don't know. I mean, you have the X-Transbots. You said that's pretty good. So, I mean, except for the faceplate was a little off, but they replaced that in the next, what one of the Combaticons, I think it was. Or no, one of the Stunticons.
The Stunticons, they did replace it. And to be honest with you, it's still not really all that good. It's just, at least it has a mouth now.
Right.
But as far as the figure as a whole, it's a really nice figure. It really is. And the only reason I would get the official one is just because I have the crosscut version of the X-Transbots one. So it would just be, that my MO was splitting the molds basically. But if it was just skids on its own and no crosscut was involved, and like, I really like that X-Transbots one, man. I think it's really, really good. The one interesting thing I saw about this skids was that I heard that they were going more for toy, more of an homage to the toy, which I thought was an interesting choice, because they've been going so stupid cartoon accurate, and this one definitely had a lot more like line work and stuff and detail, which I noticed right away. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if that still shows through, like when it's colored, because you know how it is sometimes when you see the gray prototype, you see a lot more detail, and then when everything gets painted and shit like that, then it loses a little bit of that visually. So I'm interested to see how it pans out. But it definitely did look more detailed than the last bunch of MPs.
Sorry, I was looking up. I was trying to find what I saw today. It was was a movie masterpiece series. I think it was
the Optimus.
Yeah, was that from the Bumblebee movie?
Yeah, well, with the cat ears and truck mode.
I didn't see that. No, I just saw the bot part of it. I didn't see the alt mode.
And somebody pointed it out on the alt mode that it looks like a truck with cat ears and shit. Now I can't get it out of my head when I see it. I gotta see if I get. Oh, by the way, before we go on, the hairy eyeball, a glance made with partially lowered eyelashes. This usually indicates suspicion or hostility, but may signal other emotions too. The origin of the hairy eyeball. This is a U.S. phrase from the 1960s and is largely restricted to U.S. use. The earliest known printed record of it is from the Galveston Daily News, November 1961, in a piece that reports on an interview with Carol Burnett. With her, everything is boys, boys, boys. This is in quotes. With her, everything is boys, boys, boys. She's really educated me. She was telling me about a boy looking at her, and she said he gave me the hairy eyeball. That meant he liked her. I thought it was a phrase. I had to look it up to be sure. Oh shit! What were you just looking up, Jed?
The movie masterpiece Optimus Prime.
Oh yeah, did you see the alt mode?
No, can you find a picture of it? I can't find it.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
I saw the video where they were showing it to somebody, like it was in a glass box.
Damn, I'm just getting all the shit Prime. Yeah, I'll have to. It's not readily coming up on Google. I'll have to track it down before the show's over. That's
all I've been seeing is like the Bay Prime crap.
I think I might have just found it. Hang on a second.
I want to see the cat ears.
It's really fucking funny. Hang on. It is coming right up. Hang on.
Can you post the robot mode too? I'd love to see it.
What in the fuck? Oh, I see. One at a time. Here we go. There is the alt mode. Would you say, Levy? Can I post what?
A picture of the robot mode. Jesus, yeah, cat ears.
That's funny.
Away anytime soon. Yeah, can you post a picture of the robot mode? Look at that.
It comes with a matrix, or like a regular looking, like a G1 matrix. There it is.
What scale is that? Is that MP scale? Yeah, masterpiece, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody say how much that's gonna run?
Nah, I'm looking at it right on the Transformer page, and it doesn't say anything about price yet. Oh, good. It says get yours exclusively at Target.
Which means you'll be able to get it at Ross like maybe 6 weeks later.
Yeah.
For like, a fraction of the price.
Or not at all.
If you're listening, Brother Kyle, and you happen to see one there, hook me up.
That's interesting. I wonder how much that's going to cost.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably like in the 160 range, maybe. Be my guess. I think that's what Starscream was at Target.
See, now if all the ray pieces on him were like metal, more metal, it'd be more interesting.
Yeah, that movie masterpiece line isn't so masterpiecey.
Yeah, it looks more plasticky than it does metal.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's all I got for Transformers.
So there was a Final Fantasy VII news. So
is this toy news or because I have actual toy news?
Yeah, the Tifa was supposed to be coming out, right? And then it got pushed back. But there's a few people that have been getting him like in I forget which areas. There's like, kind of like I don't know if it's the Philippines or some other places, maybe in China and stuff. And like her face is like all fucked up. Like
I saw those, Jed. Yeah, I saw those. Yep.
Yeah, it's like the eyes one fucking all droopy and the other one's not. But they Square has been sent out a message today to, I guess, a lot of distributors that said that in either June or July, they're going to be sending out replacement face plates for those purchases. And they had pushed the distribution to America and the other countries back 3 months. So I'm assuming that they're going to be fixing the problem with whatever QC they had.
Yeah.
Some people have been fixing them themselves. Some people have been doing pretty good jobs at them, but you shouldn't have to do that, especially for a $150 figure. So, but yeah, that was some of the news, because I saw like a lot of posts where people were like really bashing it, and it definitely does not look like the prototype at all. So hopefully they'll come out with something a lot better. I could have swore it was like not necessarily a bootleg, but like QC like rejected figures they were like selling. They were somehow, somebody got them and they were distributing them, because I only saw 4 or 5 people posting about having them and not too many people at all. So it might have been like one of those things where they let a run go out and then they stopped it or something. But yeah, so that was the toy news. And then besides, of course, with the Final Fantasy thing, they're going to be doing the remake is coming to PS5, and Yuffie is going to be coming with it, but only for PS5, not PS4.
Yeah, it's like an exclusive chapter.
Yeah,
additional chapter of the game. It's called Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade.
Yeah, it's a DLC. Yeah. Basically, like if you wanted to have Yuffie as a playable character in the original game, you had to do all these different side quests and stuff. Now it's just you have some money. There you go. And then of course they're doing the Final Fantasy remake for the Android. Mm-hmm. That looks very much like the original game with just like a facelift.
Yeah, but the combat scenes actually looks like it uses graphics from the remake.
Yeah, it's very Crisis Core gameplay for the Android. So
yeah, it's like traditional Final Fantasy turn-based combat, but it uses like the character models and the graphic quality from the remake, which looks pretty neat. So
one good thing about the Yuffie reveal is that at least you get kind of an idea what the figure might look like for the remake when it comes out, probably like next year.
Well, actually, though, in terms of pricing and stuff, they actually said if you purchased Final Fantasy VII Remake on PS4, you get the PS5 version for free with Yuffie.
Oh, wow. That's great. I didn't know that. I missed that part of the news. Cool.
Yeah. So I have some additional toy news.
Okay.
This past weekend, Mezco had their Toys Fair and revealed some new 112 figures that are in the pipeline. This first one here should make Vanessa happy, Mike, and I'm pretty sure you said you showed it to her already, but they announced a 112 Collective Crow, which looks pretty cool.
I think it does look pretty good, man.
No word on like none of these really showed much in the way of accessories or whatever else they're coming with, but yeah, that's definitely one I'm going to get because I missed out. I'd always wanted to get the Hot Toys Crow figure, but I never did because it was like over $200 and whatnot. So, this one, and plus, I mostly collect 1/12 scale figures anyway. I do have some 6 scale stuff, but it's mostly all TB League stuff. But, yeah, so I'm interested to see what this is going to come with. And since there's no electronics in it, I don't think, it should hopefully be a reasonable price. So, like a lot of the Mezco stuff as of late, that's had electronics and stuff, and it's been pretty pricey. But so they announced Crow. They also showed off.
It should come with a crow and a guitar.
Yeah, well, it should. I would imagine those are probably going to be in there. Oh, for all you Power Rangers fans, Mezco apparently got the Power Rangers license, and their first figure they announced is the Green Ranger, classic Green Ranger. And I'm not a Power Rangers fan, but that looks really good. If I was a Power Rangers collector, I'd be very, very happy with that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not into Power Rangers at all, but it's a nice looking figure though.
So next up, they announced Superman version 2, and like I said, it looks like they just took the Christopher Reeve costume and stretched it around a thicker body, gave it a new head sculpt and maybe a new cape, a longer cape.
The old cape trick.
Yeah, but no, it looks good. It always
goes back to the old cape trick.
But yeah, I'll definitely be getting that one. They showed off their Fantastic Four set, which many are suspecting is going to be like a complete box set with all 4 figures.
Didn't see that.
I'm not going to be getting that one. I'm okay with my Marvel Legends Fantastic Four figures. Another surprise and another redo is their Tiger Stripe Wolverine, because their original Tiger Stripe Wolverine was a New York Comic Con exclusive, which drove the price up to like well over $500 for this thing on the secondary market.
Yeah, didn't you have that, Levy?
Yep. So, but they're redoing it. I can see some minor differences in it. It looks cool, and I like. Yeah, I think the gridded teeth head sculpt there, I think, looks a little bit better than in the New York Comic Con version. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Let's see here. They are also doing a Spider-Gwen, so I'll definitely be getting that one too.
That looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And this might make you guys happy. They're also doing a Gotham by Gaslight Batman, which looks really good, because this is what Mezco really excels at, is like, the big baggy clothing, and whatnot. And I think this is really, this will really play to Mezco's strengths when they make this figure.
Mezco, they're very much like into the whole soft goods, right?
Yeah, their One Soul Collective is all about soft goods.
But that Spider-Gwen, doesn't look like it's a lot of soft goods except for the hood, unless it's like a stretchy thing that I'm looking at.
Yeah, no, that costume's soft goods.
Is it? It looks more leathery, or is that considered soft goods too?
Yeah, any kind of fabric is soft goods.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, it's got a bit of the fabric's got a bit of a sheen to it. So quite often what they do is they actually put if they want to simulate like a leather type appearance, they'll layer some vinyl over the cloth.
Okay.
So to simulate that leather look. So next one, they're actually doing an Ultraman.
That looks pretty good too. And
big surprise, apparently they also got the G.I. Joe license, because they are doing a Destro.
Yeah, I think it's pretty nice looking.
Yeah. I like that smiling head sculpt. That looks pretty cool. It's got that big fucking grin on his face. And actually the teeth there, usually their teeth are pretty bad. They paint them up really bad, but the teeth there actually look really, really good. So, but yeah, I think that's it for major nuts. I didn't see anything from like Mafex or SH Figuarts.
Man, everybody's got the G.I. Joe license now.
Yeah. Oh, they also were doing. Mezco's also doing some more Planet of the Apes figures. They have I can't remember the name of the character. They're doing a single character, but then they're also doing a little box set of 3 generic apes. So, because they already released Dr. Zaius.
Do Mezco figures usually go for like $90?
Usually around, like, if there's no electronics, it'll be about 80, 85, maybe 90, depending on what comes with it. When there's electronics in it, that price can vary. It can shoot up to like 95, 110, depends. And then like some of the bigger figures, like their Dark Side figure, which was made with Polystone, was like 180. And there was others that were pricier, like in the like 125, 130 range. So like that, the PX Previews exclusive Punisher that came with like all of the weapons and the trench coat and everything, that was like 125 at retail. But good luck getting it for that price now, because that thing is like well over $500 now on the secondary market. So I have it. I got it for retail. So
I remember when you took some pictures of it. It looks really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
did you?
That Punisher basically collected all of because they made several different versions of Punisher, and the PX Previews Punisher kind of collected all of the accessories that came with the different versions into one package. So
yeah,
that's why it was more expensive to figure.
Did you guys hear about that? I know you probably don't care, but the Storm Collectibles, was it Sub-Zero with no mask was shown?
Oh, actually, I think that was that released already? Or was it put up for pre-order? Because I know D Amazing did a review on that already.
Oh, okay. I just saw that today. I thought maybe it was a new thing, but I guess not.
Yeah, I think that's either released or is close to release. So, and Motaro's coming soon too, right, Mike?
I just got my that availability notice from TCP that is going to be in the next couple days. So yeah.
See, I thought you got yours already because you posted some pictures in the chat, and I thought those were your pictures, but
no, those were Tim K from Germany.
No,
we met him at a TFCon a couple years ago, but he actually, I was chatting with him a little bit, and he sent those over. Yeah, they're pretty nice. He's pretty nice, man. That figure, that's really good looking.
Yeah,
I mean, it's an ugly figure, but it's a beautiful ugly figure. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's it for my toy news. So let's
just move on to some Q&A, huh?
Okay. Let's see. Q&A. Jared Bell writes in, says, I recently just got caught up from episode 1 to Bots Deep, thanks to Google Podcasts.
Wow.
Man, he's a machine.
Damn, well, he started really late too. Like, I'm gonna have to see if he can. Jared, if you remember, message me and let me know like where you started at number 1, because he didn't pick up, while we were on episode 10. I mean, we were probably into the halfway to 114, but so he went all the way back to the beginning. So it's kind of, and it would have been an interesting perspective too, because by the time he was like catching up, he was knowing if we were right or wrong about something. Like, what I mean? It would be weird to actually, hear it and after the facts. It's like, wow, these guys are dopes most of the time.
So if you have 114 episodes, and let's say on an average they're 3 hours long, that's 342 hours of Blackout and Shout that he listened to.
Yeah,
give or take. So
give or take the occasional 6-hour episode.
yeah.
Give or take whenever Brother Kyle and Nate showed up.
Yeah.
So that's 350 hours of Blackout and Shout.
What does that work out to?
If you divide that, let's say that's 8 hours a day. Let's say that it's a job. You have to listen to Blackout and Shout for 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Right? That's almost 44 straight days of our podcast.
44 straight days, so divided by 5. So that's almost 9 full work weeks. If you're talking a regular 9 to 5er.
Wow.
I feel like we owe him some money or some shit.
Right, yeah.
Maybe some benefits package.
Yeah. Or like, yeah. Whew. But yeah,
I'll tell you what, Jared, we're going to give you some free Beast Wars news coming up very shortly.
Yeah. I think he deserves a Blackout and Shout t-shirt. That's what I think.
I just actually, he just got a couple off me. Not Blackout and Shout. He got Chuck Norris, of course. Chuck Norris and Bombshell and something.
You paid for that Chuck Norris shirt?
Yeah,
right, I know. So did Art. I saw Art was wearing one. Yeah, man.
You know what's funny? I saw a comment, and it's like, man, people will rip on anything. It's like, there's no way. He is the one dude, and he's probably just being facetious, but he's like, there's no way that you're gonna hit that waffle with that syrup from that far away.
So Jared says,
shout out to Jared. Go Birds.
Yeah, Jared says, hope you guys are doing well. Go Birds. Jared the Machine Bell.
Machine. You are the machine. A machine.
Yeah, you're right, Mike. I feel like I owe him child support or something. Or like time and suffering,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So right. David Lasker writes in and he says,
wait, Jared didn't have a question. He was just letting us know how much of our shit that he listened to.
That's a weird flex.
If I did that, I would let people know too. I gotta see if there's like a trophy or something that we can give him on Facebook. Yeah, right. Listen to all episodes, machine trophy. You're
just gonna get a fucking snake with a birthday hat going. Hey,
he didn't even get a top fan badge, did he?
No, I'd rather have the snake than the fucking Chuck Norris t-shirt. But I guess at least the Chuck Norris shirt keeps you warm. Anyway,
he's in Florida. He don't need to be warm. He's in Florida.
Oh well, yeah. I wonder, is he married? Is Jared married?
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder what his wife thinks of us. She probably is tired of hearing us or hearing about us.
No, I think he probably listens to this shit like on the headphones. I can't imagine anybody listening.
But Matt, like, he probably comes home, he like sits down for dinner. He's like, hey, he's like, man, Mike, Jed, and Levy, they really were making me laugh today. And God, do I have to hear more about these idiots?
Yeah, Jared, let us know what your wife thinks.
Yeah, every day, all you hear is about Mike this and Jed that and Levy this and Anyway,
and go birds.
And go birds. So David Lasker writes in, I think this is more directed at you, Mike. With the recent Unicron gripes, I don't have any with the changes they made and look forward to getting mine soon. Do you think that HasLab should include the backers with choices such as polls with design or color changes in future projects, or at the very least inform the backers of changes in their reports and a brief explanation of why the changes had to happen? QC, bad color matching, etc.
So I think we touched on this a little bit last time, and it's like a poll is tough to do because like everybody's backing this thing, and anytime there's a poll, it's going to go in your favor or not in your favor. And it's like, well, it's kind of fucked up to go in the favor of, like, you know, say you have like a 60-40 vote. So 60% of the people are going to get what they want and 40% are going to be paying the same amount of money and not getting what they want. So I think they just got to kind of like make their choices and live with it. But I think I can agree with, like, hey man, how about you show us what you're doing, you know, before you just kind of like, oh, you're going to find this shit out like after they've been shipped. And if it was like some little small shit, I don't think I would have minded as much. And like I said, I like the blue. I think I'm starting to like the blue circle rather than the orange circle. But that's kind of a major change, you know? And I think it would have been nice to know that was coming. You know, the row of teeth not being painted, that's maybe a little minor, I guess, to me anyway. It's something small. And easily fixable if you want to paint them yourself.
I don't know. I mean, you're paying $650 for this.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It to the nines.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I do feel like maybe, you know, a corner or two was cut. I can agree with that.
I look at it this way, right? That a smaller person or company or like GoFundMe or something like that will get like a lot more personal with like the backers to like find out, you know, if things are like, you know, like this type of thing, incentive is good.
Yeah.
Or if like, you know, they're doing shipping things or, you know, like a bundle type of deal, or if they want to add on something, you know, what they would be looking for. It's a lot more like the direct communication with that type of product. A big company like Hasbro, they're just going to be like, here's the prototype and then here's what you're going to get. And you guys gave us your money already. And that's just too fucking bad because, like you said, you get opinions from people, you know, some of them aren't going to like that. And then I think they're better off as a larger company just doing what they're going to do. And it's easier to ask forgiveness than it is permission.
I think that's okay when you're not actually funding the making of this thing with your customers' money. You know, like when it's like just like a regular release, you know, when you reveal the prototype and then the production or the finished product differs in some way, then, you know, that's to be expected. But when you're actually asking people to pay up front a huge amount of money to actually fund the making of this thing, and whether or not it was actually to fund the making of this thing, you know, that's up for debate, whatever. When you're asking people to pay up front for it like that, I think there is an obligation to inform them of any changes from what they were originally shown, because you're enticing them to give you that money based on what you've shown them.
Yeah,
you know. So if you're going to if you're going to stray from that, I think you at least owe it to your customer to let them know before, like, you know, you're shipping out and say, hey, here you go. This is what you're getting now.
So, and I do agree with that, but then on the other hand, like, to play total devil's advocate, they can give you a shit sandwich. You already paid for it. Like,
right.
What are you gonna like? Even if they would have notified us of this change,
you're not going to support any crowdfunding projects in the future.
Well, right. but you're still not going to do that now.
Or you're just going to be like Mike and kind of go, well, it's kind of growing on me. I think I'm going to just kind of accept it. And
well, the teeth aren't growing on me. I'm probably going to end up painting them teeth, man. Like that to me, like the blue circle looks like it looked like a conscious change, and it's symmetrical and it looks fine, you know, like I'm it's growing on me and all that shit. But like to have a row of teeth painted and have the other row of teeth not painted, like, you know what I mean? This motherfucker is gonna look like maybe he's got some dentures or some shit, you know. I don't like I don't like when something looks unfinished. So that does annoy me a little bit. I guess maybe I'm not getting as worked up as I could, because I got two of them and they're already selling for like a ton more on eBay. So I can always like turn around and sell it and pay for my first one with whatever I made for that one. Like, that's fine. And I'm probably not going to, but like, I don't know, man, it's a bummer because you think about it, like, dude, we got those Sentinels coming up, you know, and the people that did go in on the Razor Crest, you know, they got that coming up. It's like, dude, I want this shit to be good because like, I wouldn't mind seeing more of them. I wouldn't mind seeing a Primus, you know, if they decided to go that route, you know. I like, man, go all out. Like Levy said, you know, it's not, you know, when XTB does something stupid, like, you know, here's Springer, you know, here's the render of Springer, here's the prototype and it looks different. And this is, you know, like whether or not that's, I don't know what's going to be the final outcome there, but like, remember when Jed, when you saw it, you were like, well, Jesus, look at all these changes that are different from the original render. Well, then you go cancel your pre-order. Right. You know,
you can't cancel a funded pre-order, right?
That's exactly right. You know, so that's I think there does need to be special consideration for that, you know, because it's not cool when you got your fans by the nuts and you pull that.
I mean, in all consideration, you know, if you don't like it, then just sell it and make some money on it.
Yeah. That's the main reason nobody should be complaining is like, dude, okay, so when was the last time that you were so pissed off at something that you bought that you were able to sell for over twice what you paid for it?
Right.
Yeah, but you know, they had they were getting one thing and they're getting something that's not quite that thing. I can understand being upset about that.
No,
and,
I can hear it.
Like if it's such an egregious change that they don't want anymore, now they're not having the thing that they wanted to begin with, you know, and that they were shown, you know. So yeah, I can understand that being very disappointing. So you know, and you know, you shouldn't have to sell it, you know, if they had just, you know, given you what they were saying, what they said they were going to give you.
You're right. I mean, it's bad PR all around for the company. But I
think what Jed's trying to say is for the fan, it could have been worse.
Right.
You could have. I mean, you paid $600 for a piece of shit that fucking nobody wanted. You know, at least there's a silver lining. That's basically what he's saying. Like, well, you know, it does. You're absolutely right. It sucks that for the people that aren't getting exactly what they paid for and are really mad about it, it does suck for them. But hey, at least you can, you know, turn it around and get some money for it.
Yeah, I mean, you can do. I mean, you can definitely recoup plus, you know, more. You know,
which I'm still totally not understanding. Still totally not understanding why people are paying that much for this fucking thing. It's outrageous. It really is. I'm so glad I bought 3 Sentinels.
All right, sit right back and let me tell you a tale by Tyler Gillette.
Oh boy, here we go.
It's a long one. Strap in.
One. It's Bowman length.
I should just reply, too long, didn't read.
TLDR.
Listening back to the last episode, there was mention of collecting more than Transformers, Mike, and it got me thinking. When I started branching out and collecting more than just Transformers stuff, my collection started feeling unbalanced to where I wanted more of an overall varied collection of all the stuff I loved the most instead of a single property that I just loved. When I evaluated what I had, the lack of balance was really bothersome to me because I had 80% Beast Wars and 20% other varied collections from other franchises. I'm not more focused on just having a little of everything and streamlining each line to what I like the most from a certain franchise instead of having one priority collection and all the others as buying fillers until my next TF purchase. Has this ever happened to you guys? Would love to know your thoughts. Also, I'd love to lay claim to the Nickelback prank, but unfortunately, I'm just an onlooker. A laughing, thoroughly enjoying the unfolding events onlooker. Someone's got to get this man an photograph of Mike's photograph in the frame from the video for the hit song. You guessed it, photograph.
That fucking whole sentence was such a mind fuck, and I'm glad I ate a brownie an hour and a half ago to hear it.
A photograph and a photograph of a photograph.
I'll answer 2 parts of Tyler's question real quick. Number 1, the first part doesn't. I have no. There's no. Like, it's all about Transformers and all the shit that fills in around it. Like, it's very cool when some of this stuff comes out. Like, I really love the combat stuff, and I'm digging these X-Men import figures when they come out from time to time. And what else did I get? Oh, the G.I. Joes and shit like that. Like, I enjoy that shit when it comes out, but it's not bothering me that my collection is 95% Transformers and like 5. I don't know if those numbers are correct, but or 90 to 10 maybe. Transformers to everything else, that it doesn't bother me one bit, and I'm not really looking to fill in the voids in between Transformers with other shit just to do so. Like, I'm totally cool with everything the way it is now. And part 2, the Nickelback thing. So now I'm not posting this on my wall anymore. So my new strategy is I'm going to stop saying anything about it. But I got something new yesterday. I got a fridge magnet, a Nickelback fridge magnet. But I'm not saying anything online because I'm like, you know what? If I get a couple more things, I'm just encouraging them for one, and I'm prolonging not ever finding out who it's going to be because it's going to keep going. So I stopped saying shit on social media about it. I'm sure there's probably, 2 or 3 more things that are on the way. I'm going to put it all together as a Nickelback like fan like bundle on eBay and hopefully get maybe like $30 for all this shit when it's all said and done. And I'll have part of the last laugh, but the ultimate last laugh would be if this motherfucker never comes out and tells me who it is, because like, it's not bothering me right now, but like if it just dies and this person disappears and I never find out who it is, like way later down the line, like years, I'm going to look back and be like, yo, you know what? That Nickelback motherfucker never came out. So I'm not sure what the strategy of whoever's doing this. I'm not sure what their strategy is. I don't know if they're going to tell me. Like, I'm hoping that game. What is the long game? Right. Yeah. I'm hoping that if I don't say anything and I get a couple more things in the mail and I stop posting about it, that it becomes, they get bored and they're like, hey, that shit was me. And it's
turned into a conspiracy now. Right?
It is. It's a whole. What did I tell? I told Vanessa it reminded me of some. Oh, it was like Death Note, and I felt like I'm L, and I'm trying to track down the fucking.
It's like V for Vendetta. Everyone's wearing the mask.
Yeah, right.
There's a whole bunch of people in on it. First it was only one, and now it's
I could
5 of them.
I could see it. I could actually see it being a group. That was one thing that I thought of. Maybe like maybe like 20 different people all just kind of got together and it's like, yo, let's everybody just throw $5 in. It's only $5 and we'll be able to buy a plethora of Nickelback shit and send this dude. That's one theory I have. And to figure out who all those people are, I don't know, but I have a lead on somebody. And now this gets even more cloak and dagger. Okay. So check this out. So I get the, and you may or may not have seen this in the chat, but I'll repeat it for the people listening. The other day, what did I get the other day? I got the VHS tape with the photograph music video on it. I get that, and every time I get something in the mail, I immediately check Facebook for whoever the sender is, like the return address sender. And I haven't gotten a hit up until I got that videotape, and that name checked out on Facebook, and it was the same city and state and it was this girl. So I messaged her and I told her what was going on. I'm like, listen, I fucking hate Nickelback. People keep sending me Nickelback shit, including this videotape. And she was laughing. Like we went back and forth a little. And I said, look, I was like, I said, I don't suppose you'd give up the sender, you know, who paid for this shit. And she told me the person that bought it told her it was a gag gift. They were sending it as a gag. And she wasn't going to give their name up, but she said, I'll give you a first name initial. And she gave me D. And I was at that point, I'm like, all right, cool. It's a clue. I'm cool with it. So I was thinking to myself, I'm just going to start looking up all the people on my friends list that start with a D. Their first name starts with a D. And unsolicited, she wrote me back again, like maybe 3 or 4 minutes later. And she goes, all right, their first name's Dave. So it's a Dave. And I went through the Daves and the Davids on my friends list, and I'm not really seeing anybody that's screaming at me. Like the drummer that plays in Social Call, his name is Dave. His name's Dave. But this is really lowbrow for him. You know, like this is definitely below, like, you know, the Mendoza line when you're hitting 200 or lower, like this is below the nitwit line for him. Like I can't really see him doing this, especially the fake profile, the Chad Kroger profile that's been kind of like throwing a couple of my posts. Like that's below, you know what I mean? That's definitely more of a nitwitty friend type of thing to do. So yeah. He's on the suspect list, but he's low on the suspect list. But I'm gonna run this by you. Let's say, and this is where it gets Death Note-y. Let's say the person that bought it, the photograph videotape, or any of this shit, knew I was at least smart enough to follow up on the return sender and gave the actual merchant, the person that sent the merchandise, this fake name, and like Dave's not even their name. And that would put me back to square one, like not knowing anything, you know? Because when she said Dave, I was like, oh, fucking awesome, man. This is going to crack the case. And then when I started looking over the Daves and it wasn't cracking the case, that had me thinking that, well, maybe Dave's just a fake name.
The great Nickelback conspiracy of 2020.
I'm telling you, it's a fucking strange chain of events, man.
I love it.
You know what? I love it too. I know I play the hater on Facebook, but I feel like I have to, because it's you know, that's how I do it. But it's funny. It is kind of funny. So I don't know.
I just like that they just kept going with it, and it's driving you nuts.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. I love coming home and it's like, all right, I see the package, some weird package, and it's like, all right, well, I know it's not from Chosen Prime. I didn't order anything off of eBay or Amazon this week, so it's like, fuck, what is it going to be this time? But yeah, yesterday I got the magnet.
I have a few theories, right? So
okay, I'm listening.
One theory is that it's Vanessa, and that it's like, you know, it's so close. You didn't think about looking at it that way, and you're like, shit. And she's like,
somebody brought that up. Somebody somebody brought that up on Facebook, and I know she would never do that because it's such a fucking waste of money.
Well, it's not her money. It's, you know, somebody else's. You know, she kind of like told everyone to do it, and it was like it's like, you know, like conspiracy, because there's a whole bunch of people involved.
Yeah, but we have such a happy relationship though. Like, why ruin it? Why ruin it with Nickelback shit? You know what I mean?
I do like the one theory. I do like the one fan theory that it's actually is all your shit, and you're just that you're revealing it slowly. This is your actual collection, and you're showing everyone your collection.
This is the MKU after credit scene.
Samuel Jackson just shows up.
Samuel L. Kroger. It's like just Chad Kroger with an eye patch.
Yeah. It's really well hidden though, because like if it was me, you'd be getting like books like, you know, how to play the guitar with your pinky, or
right.
Or I'd send you like a glitter bomb. That would be even better, because I know how OCD you are about that shit.
Well, whoever's doing it, I kind of commend the patience, or not the patience. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, the restraint, I guess, because like, for me personally, I would be a terrible supervillain because, like, you know, like I would be the guy that had James Bond tied to the thing with the chainsaw coming at him and tell him all the plans for world domination, only for James Bond to escape and thwart the plans and stuff. Like, this person is keeping it, you know,
seeking the credit.
Is close to the vest. Whoever's doing it,
it's like Ozymandias from Watchmen. He's like, he explained the plan after it was put into effect 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Villain.
Yeah.
It's already.
I'm gonna send you a box of, Mike. I'm gonna send you a box of sand.
Unexplained.
With a Nickelback pick in the sand.
and then when I find it, you're gonna be like, you dug for that shit, didn't you? Work for it.
All right, let's see what's next.
You want to comment?
Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah, go ahead, Levy. Comment on the question Tyler had.
Well, you know, I mean, you guys know that I collect all manner of things. I don't really feel the need for balance per se. I just kind of buy what strikes my fancy, you know? And
you'd say like half your collection is Transformers, right? Like half?
I don't know anymore.
No? A little less than half?
I don't know. I mean, I would say it's like, you know, Transformers and then all the other stuff, maybe. I mean, I do have a lot of Marvel Legends. A lot of that Marvel Legends stuff probably isn't even going to display because it's like all ancillary characters I don't give a shit about. But you know, it's stuff that I got because I needed to get the bath. You know, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really feel a need for balance. But right now I am trying to cut back. There's a lot of stuff that I am not ordering. I haven't really been buying and ordering new stuff. You know,
yeah,
not a lot. I mean, I definitely cut back. I mean, there is some stuff that I am like, you know, new Mafex figures that come up that I want. That I definitely order those. But I canceled a lot. I canceled a lot of my Kingdom Transformer stuff. My pre-orders on those. And there's just like other stuff that I'm not, you know, pre-ordering. Like I canceled that Barbarian Soul TV League Fison figure. So because I didn't want to have to pay for it like right when it released, you know. So I may pick it up like when I get my tax return or my tax refund back. But yeah, like I canceled that. I still have my Fison Egyptian gods on pre-order, like Horus, Ra.
Yeah, those are cool.
And Month. I have those on pre-order yet.
See, I like that type of collection because it's unique. It's not, you know, it's not like another big group of a main IP. It's like, you know, it's like public domain characters that are like, you know, really well done and they look really neat. And it's like a nice kind of like niche collection that's kind of, you know, like you can really look at it and go, wow, that's kind of some nice different stuff that's from the normal stuff that you normally get. That's, you know, not superhero-y or, you know, a robot.
Yeah. So like I said, I just kind of usually just get what I think looks cool. So,
see, in my opinion, I think there's like two type of collectors. There's a completionist, and then there's a person who buys what they like.
Yeah.
And then, but unfortunately, there's the person who buys what they like. It might be they like a lot of stuff, and then they wind up buying everything and too much stuff, and then they are like, oh man, look at that I'm gonna order, and like I don't really need it. So, you know, you kind of like, you know, focus a little bit more on what you want and what, you know, kind of nostalgia or whatever that makes you happy, or, you know, a line that, you know, you're really interested in. I think I'm more of that than a completionist. I don't give two shits if like I don't complete all of season one or if I don't complete, you know, this line of characters or, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. But like when I see things, I'm like, ooh, that looks really cool. I want to get that. But then I think to myself, do I really need that anymore? Not really. So
yeah,
just one of those things where you want to get something. It's that dopamine feeling where you're like, you purchased something.
Yeah, you're chasing that dragon, that toy dragon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Plastic crack.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's share this. So Lorianne Vargo says Jed Vargo look hot in the Lost Boys picture with my Kiefer Sutherland spiky hair.
Yeah, you do. You are sexy.
I told her, I said I might look hot, but Levy is majestic in that picture with that long flowing hair.
Yeah, Levy is pretty good at
that. There's just something about that mane, you know.
At one point, that's just what Levy looked like when he got a haircut.
Well, it's back like that again.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's back like that again.
Levy, you should let it go, dude. I'm letting mine go. Like I told you, man. Fucking 2021 BNS hair metal.
I haven't had a haircut in over a year.
Yeah, same.
All right.
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't had a haircut since like a couple weeks or months before the pandemic started. So
I think I'm gonna get to like Terry Bogard length, and then I'll probably start cutting it.
Man, your wife is pissed.
You know what? She started growing her hair long, so it's working. Let's see. Chris Gardner. Nate Armstrong says, this is related to the picture Levy posted Lost Boys. Would you drink from David's bottle of wine? Who would you eat first?
No, because I don't drink wine.
Hey, that's a good point.
It's a bottle of wine. Remember, it wasn't wine. It was blood. And Levy, you want to be a cannibal. So, I mean, this is kind of like second best to be a vampire, right?
Yeah. Hey, there you go. Oh, man. Who would I eat first?
And when he says eat, I'm assuming drain to death, not turn.
Who looks tasty?
Yeah, it had to be somebody that ate like a lot of bacon or whatever. You know?
I'm turning you guys first.
Oh, well, that'd be cool if you turn us, but don't eat me to like death. You know,
we'll be the vampire blackout and shout show.
The number one Beast Wars podcast for the last 300 years.
What episode are we on? 5,600.
Can't even keep up with it now. Imagine that shit.
I would eat Gal Gadot.
That's a good call, Jed.
Hey.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I'm sure she tastes wonderful.
Wonderful.
Bite her right on the ass.
Any more comments?
From us on that
the vampire?
Yeah. No. Nah, I'm good. My comment stands. Somebody that's full of bacon.
We talked about this before a little bit, but Adam Urban asks, are you guys in on the new skids? And why does the aesthetics look like previous MPs instead of Super Tune?
Yeah, we kind of cover. Thank you for the question, but we did kind of cover that one a little bit. I guess people. The only thing we didn't really talk about is why. Like we discussed that it does look like that, but maybe not why. And the only thing I could think of is that Skids only really showed up in like 2 episodes. So I think anybody that has a connection to Skids is either through the IDW comic or the toy. You know, so I think that maybe they're shooting more for a toy aesthetic because of that, because of, you know, where people's association to the character lie. And I did actually see that a lot of the IDW fans are kind of psyched over it, even though it's not an IDW Skids. It's just the fact that Skids is a bigger character in IDW, and they're just like so psyched to have Skids anything, because, you know, how often does that happen? But I do think that's why. I think the connection to Skids in the media where he's most popular is comic and toy, where he is more detailed and stuff. So that's the only thing I could possibly think of why they did it that way, because it's definitely a departure.
I'm gonna say that I was gonna say, Levy, that I think it's don't you think it's kind of like aimed maybe a little bit toward the Japanese too?
Oh, that's
Towards the-
definitely a possibility. Yeah.
Towards the what?
Japanese market.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe that's why it's more toy instead of cartoon?
I don't know. It's hard to say. Hard to say.
I was going to say that maybe it's marking a swing back in the other direction again, like the pendulum swinging back. You know, they went really hyper-tuned. They kind of got, maybe they got a little bit of flack for that, and people were like kind of complaining, like, yeah, this is a little too much. So the pendulum started to swing back a little bit, maybe, and they're starting to go back to, more detailed sculpt.
They're gonna put out Optimus Prime version 4, and it's just gonna be MP10 again. MP10 with like a different head sculpt or some shit.
Yeah, that's funny.
Crazy.
That's all the questions we got. I have a couple things in closing. One, F you, John Bailey. So fuck off.
Yeah.
The other thing is, you like this one, Mike. I had a dream about Gary, and in my dream, I was in the band with him, and I was like a backup, and we got to the place to jam, and we were at the bar, and the stage was all lit and ready to go. And I looked over at Gary and I said, "Are you gonna tell me what songs I was supposed to practice? Because I didn't practice anything
live at the show." Yeah, right.
Yeah, right at the show. And he was like, "Nah." And then it was like one of those, those dreams where you wake up all pissed because you weren't prepared.
Yeah,
for your job. So fuck you, Gary, for not telling me what songs to play.
You know what? We laugh about it. My band, my current band, they do that to me. Like, because they've been together for fucking 13 years. So, and the guy I replaced, he was in the band for 9 years. So like they had this immense fucking catalog of shit. And like they were, for the first like fucking 6 or 7 months, I looked down at the set list, and like the next song coming up was like definitely something we never practiced. And I looked over at them and I'll be like, yo, I don't know this song. And they would look at me and then they would look at each other, and the fucking drummer would count it in. And to be fair, it was always like, not like they're playing fucking Rush, you know what I mean? It would be like some like AC/DC shit or something that was like 4 chords or something that was like kind of easy to figure out as you were going along. But like they didn't give a fuck, dude. They would just fucking bust into the song, and I'm standing over there like a fucking idiot. Like
Now sing and dance for us. Monkey.
Yeah.
Be our humor for the evening.
I do got a funny thing going with Vanessa though. Like when she knows what songs I hate, because like whenever I'm playing a song I can't stand, I do the Johnny Manziel, like the fingers, like rubbing the money, the money, like pinchy fingers. So I do every time a song starts that I like when they bust in a fucking Sweet Home fucking Alabama, dude. I do that shit. Yeah, it's great.
Do you guys play like a lot of Creedence at all?
None.
Wow, that's surprising.
And the last batch of songs that we picked for this upcoming show is actually some cool shit in there, man. Like, yo, dude, one dude picked Wasted Years to put on a list, which I thought was
interesting. So how many times are you gonna start and stop that song in the middle?
We'll just play a whole set of it. But that's on there, like Holy Diver and Wicked Garden from Stone Temple, which is a cool song. Like it's actually like a cool. It was a MKU heavy MKU list this time around. And the fucking I like I'm 44 years old and I'm talking shit on the old guys.
That's funny.
That's all I got for
anything closing.
Yeah. I got nothing else.
No.
I got nothing else. Thank you to everybody that's listening. That's about it.
Yeah.
Thanks to Jared for listening to every minute of the show of everyone.
Yeah. We apologize.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wonder if he has like little like dolls made of us, and he like talks to us on the shelf and tells us how his day was.
It's like in Castlevania when what's his face was there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
when he went nuts and he was sitting there eating dinner.
He was doing the voices and shit. That'd be funny. Like, yeah, the Jed doll and was doing your voice, doing your old lady's voice.
He's like, oh shit, I gotta add more hair now. Dolls.
Yeah. Oh Lord. I'm ready to pack it in for tonight.
There we go. Blackout Shell plushie GoFundMe coming soon. Chibi version.
Yeah.
All right, Mike.
Enough's enough. We're out.